welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We're live on YouTube and also wherever you can get your podcast. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola. Well, Tom Gazzola's head with you here today. You can't see the rest of him.
Oh, baby.
He's got the camo on. What were you going to say?
Going into the Bow Zone today.
Two more shows. And Jolene Latimer joining us once again from The Score. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Didn't realize he was going to wear the camo today, so...
No, it's a special day.
It's a very special day.
I'm really happy because I missed the shorts day, so I'm glad that I'm here for the camo day.
There will be shorts days in the near future.
But
after it gets warm.
Will there be camo shorts days?
I don't have camo shorts yet.
Okay, all right.
But
put that on the Christmas list.
The fine folks over at Wild TV and Bow Zone Live keep hooking me up with some sweet gear, and out of respect, I wear it.
Ultimate bingo card.
Thank you. I need to fit the motif as well.
Exactly.
It's a busy day today.
Gotta lean into it.
Thank you.
because then your oil stream, you guys are Boston Pizza Capilano.
Then back to the Wild TV studios, which is literally 5 minutes away from here. And away we go.
And I'm speaking at Nate today.
And you're speaking at Nate.
For the first time ever.
Wow.
I've graduated since 2010. That's when I graduated.
Yeah.
I have taken on a number of practicum students, and I've never been asked back. And there was somebody, I remember, like, even there was one person that we worked with at Virgin Radio. She was asked back, and she never even took radio school in general. Or she was asked to go speak there. And there's like all these people, I've never been asked. And finally the program had, well, I was supposed to be there last Wednesday.
Patty G?
Yes.
Pat Galan's a good dude.
But I was supposed to be there last Wednesday, but then we got the news that Ed Hervey press conference happened. So I called him like, I'm sorry, I can't come tomorrow. I felt bad.
That was a full-on day. And yeah, Pat would understand. He'd probably go in, guys, I'm sorry. Matthew Iwanyk, our guest, former Nate radio and television student. This is the business. This is what happens. Big news conference with the Elks. He's got to be there, help guide the ship. And then, oh, sick. That's awesome. And then you'll be in there, and then he'll ask you, or Dave Sawchuk or the crew over there will be like, what's it like having to be quick on your toes and this and that? And then he'd be like, well, as someone who's been through many regime changes.
I could take the whole show that would just explain all of the regime changes you and I and the city has seen over the last 15 years.
Oh my goodness, could you ever? You're going to have a great time. It's a little bit different over there. They've gotten some new stuff, which is fantastic. And it's still an awesome program. So shout out to all the people at Nate Radio and TV. I think they've technically changed, or they've changed the name of it a little bit.
No,
is it just still Nate Radio and Television? Did they add in like the digital thing?
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good question.
It's the same
because they also had to like Pat eventually had to oversee. Do you know like the stenograph people?
Yeah,
the typers and
stenographers. Yeah,
that's what it is. The RTA program had to oversee it.
Interesting.
Yeah, they needed to like have some department to like take it over or something, and radio and television was the program that took it over.
Unfortunately, that's usually due to budget cuts.
We know how that is. Did you go to, like, what schooling did you go to?
I went to USC in Southern California.
You went?
Oh, yeah, so it's full Trojan.
It's a fancy school.
Full Trojan.
Two-time Trojan.
Wow.
Went for my undergrad and my master's. Yeah, I know.
You couldn't go to Nate like us?
I don't know, considering where I ended up in life, like I'm at the same, like, what was the point of USC? I don't know.
Amazing.
Experience of being at USC. Going to school in LA, getting to be a Trojan.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, go to a lot of sports there?
Yeah, I used to have season tickets to our football team. Yeah.
So you get to go to the Coliseum?
Yeah, Matt. Well, actually, that's a little bit too old for me.
Sorry.
It's more of a Matt Barkley kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liner was like 04.
I know.
He's
a bad
there.
Cardinal.
If I would have, I went to USC as a transfer student. If I would have went directly out of high school, we would have overlapped.
Cross paths.
Yeah. But then I was there the first year of the sanctions. Terrible timing. Terrible timing. Yeah.
Damn.
Do you still feel the connection to the Trojans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm pretty involved still with them.
Really?
Yeah. Like I usually help, like I go down and help with alumni stuff.
And donate.
That's awesome.
They like money. Yeah. They want money.
They're always asking me to donate. I'm like, okay, yeah. If this degree would have worked out a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, that would actually be a lot of fun. That's worth it all to me.
That's pretty cool.
It was fun, worth it. I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll find out one day. We'll see where my life ends up and how big of a role that plays.
Yeah, but you get the stories.
Yeah, lots of stories. That's for sure. Lots of them.
I'd like to, I'd like to go, I'm going back to Nate to go speak today for the first time in 15 years or whatever. I'm going down one road to get there. I'd like to get on a flight to go to LA and just be like, I'm here to
I'm back.
give back to my school today.
You know what crazy stories we had? We went to the Blind Duck and we went bowling downstairs.
Okay, but you guys had fun. It's still like the memories that you make with your
Yeah, but there was no like
class.
sports fun. Like I would have loved to have no offense, I cheer against the Trojans a little bit.
Why? Because
they got
cheer
so-
for.
Well, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan.
The U.
I also like the Washington State Cougars.
Yeah,
Are
he
you
likes about
just-
14 other college teams.
Are you
too.
just one of these people who just hated us
Oh, that's
because we
in
were
football.
good?
Yes,
Yeah.
it started with that. It was against Matt Leinart. It was against Reggie
why
Bush.
we got sanctioned.
Yeah, well,
Over a used car, there was nothing there.
it was against the rules.
The injustice of it all. How many other people did things?
Reggie
against the
Bush
rules?
should get his Heisman back.
Go to OSU
I think he is
and
getting his
OU and
Heisman
see
back.
what they got.
Yeah.
No one said anything, though. No one said
Exactly.
anything.
They just hated us because we were arrogant. And it's fine.
Yeah, well, it's like
suffered
you go
for
to
it.
school in board shorts and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot to hate about USC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it
that's
would be
fair.
like fun to go there and just like the amount of sports.
It was fun.
Great
we have
parties.
Some cool alumni. Yeah.
It's Pac-12, Pac-10 at the time, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, being part of that.
was
It's
fun.
different than ACAC. Like with all
yeah.
due respect, like it just doesn't. I grew up watching a lot of NCAA, and it just I don't know. Although Golden Bears,
They're pretty good.
their volleyball team did beat USC a few times. I'm just saying when the
Oh,
American teams used to come up here and play.
really? That's cool. I
We had a
guess I
good
don't really know
volleyball
much about our
program.
volleyball team. I know that like often we have more Olympians at the Olympics than Canadians. Yeah.
You don't say.
So the new head,
Or is it maybe it's not more Olympians? It's more medals. More medals for USC than for Canada. That's what it is. Yeah.
that would make sense. And
A lot of people go there to train.
the new old GM of the Edmonton Elks is a Trojan.
Oh, really?
It's a
Oh.
Trojan.
Fight on. I'll have to go talk to him.
Yeah. You'll have that connection.
We need to get a little Trojan like alumni group going in Alberta.
You could have your clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like soccer. Soccer has their clubs all around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, they always say the Trojan family is lifelong and worldwide. Not
That's
to make an
great
advertisement for.
way to get you indoctrinated.
I know it's a cult. It is a cult.
Yeah.
It actually is a cult.
Did you go there when Lori Laughlin, aka Auntie Becky's daughters, were there?
No, I wish. See, I missed all the good times.
They were on the rowing team.
Yeah, I know. I was too late for Matt Leinart, too early for Lori Laughlin. It's
I met her. She's very nice. She's a lovely lady.
Went to jail.
She did. She was fresh out of jail when I met her.
wow.
Did you ask her about it?
No, I left that
How was
alone.
prison?
Yeah, and
context
I
in
met her
which you met her?
daughter as well, but I think she didn't look like a rower. I think she's an influencer.
Oh, surprising.
Yeah.
What how did this come about?
Just through mutual friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. What an interesting person to meet.
And I was like, you went to USC? I didn't
Oh
say
my
that.
God.
I did not say that.
It's a big school.
Yeah,
And
lots of
it's
people
actually
go there.
stunning how bad their football team was this year.
Yeah,
the last 2 years.
I know. Also
They spent
now
all the money on Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
now that the NFL has moved into LA, it used to be the only football team in town. No offense to UCLA.
Wow.
No offense to UCLA.
Wow, that was a shot at the Bruins right there. Yeah, we're the only team in town.
we were.
They play out at the Rose
They
Bowl,
do.
but yeah,
That's
they don't
exactly
matter.
That was
They
what I was
don't
about
matter.
to say. They played the Rose Bowl. It's not in the city, and also they weren't very good.
Josh Rosen is turning in his grave the former Elks negotiation list quarterback.
When I went to school there, we beat them 50-0. So, that's kind of that's what I stand on. Okay.
Hey, that's rivalry. I appreciate the shot you took at them. I say just stand behind it.
Anyway,
But,
the
yeah.
stadium used to be full. It used to be like packed because that was football. But now that there's NFL, I think our fan base is weakened a little bit. I'm very disappointed in the Trojan fan base, to be honest. Yeah. So they need to.
You need to go, like when you go back for one of your alumni things,
Yeah.
you need to go rally the
I
troops.
should try to. We used to have this guy who had this blog called The Bear Fighter. The Bear Fighter, yeah, that's what it was called. And he basically the blog became so popular. It was right when the sanctions came in, And he had all these like really, really arrogant sayings like "bulls are for salad" or like whatever. Like people got really into it, and he used to come to like pep rallies and rally everybody up. That's kind of like how we need another person like that.
Be that person.
Yeah, I could be.
Be the star of the Trojans.
I can.
Be what turns the football program around.
Yes.
I could be, but okay. Before we get more into my Trojan alumni, ideals here, I'm curious what you're going to talk about at Nate today. Do you have like a speech?
No.
Oh.
No, actually, it's funny. So Pat asked me, I don't even know what class this is. I don't know anything about it. I was talking with Reed and Jay yesterday, and Jay's like, you should probably write some notes down. I'm like, no. I'm one of those people that I don't need notes. And Reed's like, yeah, I did career day, and I had some bullet points. I was like, nope. I honestly don't even know what class this is. I don't know what the topics are. I'm assuming, based on my little conversations with Pat, I'll probably have to talk about my career, how I got to this, and then also the future of radio, because we're doing things a little bit differently than traditional radio, which I don't need notes for that. It's all up here. It's all in this brain.
You know that by heart.
I'll be good. I'll be.
Yeah.
And it's what 8 kids. There's like 12 of them. They don't have a job yet.
Are they going? Yeah, they don't know. You can tell them anything. Yeah.
Actually, one of them is I'm assuming. Actually, I shouldn't even guess that. One of them is going to be. One student at Nate is joining us in January as a practicum student. I don't know if it's in that class or not.
Okay.
Well, I've got the contract signed. It's all done.
Okay.
I'll just have to tell them, like, you make sure everyone thinks I did great.
Yeah, exactly.
You walk around, tell everyone I did great. Otherwise, I will rescind that contract.
He's your hype guy on the ground there.
Oh, I should have planted questions with him.
Yeah.
Like, have him be like,
To get the Q&A
why are
going.
you so great?
Exactly.
That's a great question. See, I honestly don't know, though.
Are they
No
going to
clue.
interview you, or are you just going to get up there and talk? Oh,
Don't even know.
wow, you're so easy
You'll be
going.
fine.
Don't even
so
know. I think it's going to be like an hour. I could talk about EST for an hour. I could talk
Yeah.
about the radio industry for an hour. That's
Easily.
nothing.
Yeah.
The kids will want to go to lunch, and I'm like, I still have more to say, guys.
Don't be that guy.
Never be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
That was whenever we did like long meetings at Bell, there was always that one person that would ask you another question. You're just like, we're just done. Like, why? Ask it after.
Yes.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person. It's the worst.
I'm very jealous of the USC. I'm not going to lie.
You
Learning
can
this
still
today,
go.
I'm very jealous.
You could still go. You could do a master's there.
In what?
You could. What do you want to be?
I
better
don't even
at?
think I could do masters because I didn't do the first thing.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to. Great. Then you get to do your undergrad. It's so exciting. That's more fun.
I don't even know what that is. What is an undergrad?
It's just a 4-year degree in a general subject. I did mine in English.
How about a 2-year diploma?
I don't think they have those.
Yeah, but
at
so
us
like
now.
that's just a degree.
Yeah.
The undergrad.
Yeah.
That's just a normal degree,
Yeah.
like what you'd get at the U of A.
Undergraduate degree. Yeah. That's the first level.
And then it goes masters.
Yeah. Then it goes graduate degree.
Hi, big boy.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
confusing.
Here.
We're in the Bozone.
Like a contrasting.
Shawn Belle's joining us. I forgot to mention. Actually, I'm gonna have to
You've got,
switch
like,
spots.
Preppy look, and then you've got the
I'm a hunter now.
hunter, and then you've got your sleeping bag.
I have to leave early, so I
you do?
I need to set things. So I need to do this.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Do you know
Saw you-
Jolene? You know Jolene.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
How are
Howdy.
things?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. We're talking about USC. She's a Trojan. We learned that today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out how to get Matt to USC because he wants to go.
Well, not USC. I would actually.
Well, yeah, 'cause
I would go to.
you-
I would love to be in LA.
Well, it's,
You would-
it's
yeah.
again the only
Yeah.
school worth going to there. I mean,
I don't know
Not
much about.
UCLA.
no.
She already took her shot at
Public
UCLA,
school.
big one.
Oh, yeah.
wanna
She
hear it.
outright just was like, "There's only one football team in town for the NFL game, USC."
Wow.
It's true.
I like it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
She's being apologetic. It's if like
Look-
Bruins fans are listening right now. We're
There
gonna
might, I don't
like
care.
be at her.
I don't even care if they are, and it's true. If you look at the times that USC and UCLA have met, it's not even a real rivalry because USC's won so many times. It's only like.
I
Only,
did go to USC, UCLA at the
like,
at the Coliseum.
Yeah, that's
What year was that? 2015, I think, maybe.
Is that like
probably
it's like
bad
a
here.
Clippers Lakers type scenario?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Clippers are clearly the second team.
Yeah.
Even though I have a bigger heart for the Clippers.
What?
You do.
Yeah.
How do you have a bigger heart
I
for
like
the Clippers?
I like an underdog. I do.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to be on that underdog team. Like if I have to pick a school, I'm going to pick the best one.
But you're just like,
I'm gonna
oh,
cheer
that's
for-
so
yeah,
sweet.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The poor little Clippers.
Lakers all day. Lakers all day. All the lost days. Lost their first ever NBA Cup game yesterday. Ever. Last team to do it. They're the last undefeated team.
To Phoenix?
Lost to Phoenix.
I watched some of that
So
game.
we got to let other people feel good about themselves.
Yeah, see, that's the arrogant mentality. That's the best way to be a fan if you are a fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
especially those type of teams.
Just be arrogant.
100%. It's way
when
better.
you lose,
it's more
it's
fun.
like, and also when you lose, like you shouldn't get upset because you're like, whatever. Look at the rivalry. We're usually better anyway.
Just point to the banners.
Yeah, you need to win one time. Yeah.
There's only one other team
That
that
just
can,
makes you a bandwagon.
no.
Yankees, Lakers,
I stand by this. I've cheered for all my teams for over
Baltimore.
20 years. How's that a bandwagon, Baltimore?
Baltimore has been an absolute juggernaut for a long time.
Yeah, they only have 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime.
Buddy, they've been trouncing teams for a long time.
In the late 90s, early 2000s,
you are
when I was 8, 9,
literally
10,
a bandwagon jumper.
when I was 8, 9. No. You can't call me a jumper. I have not jumped off these bandwagons.
You're so
I got
triggered right
on
now.
I know.
at 8, 9, 10, and I've stuck with them for over 20 years.
It doesn't
Those
even
are my
matter
teams.
what you have
I'm
to
not
say
leaving.
at this point. I'm
you
just
still owe
calling
me
you a
beer.
bandwagon. I do. That's right.
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
Thank you for reminding me.
I'm calling you. I wasn't going to call you out on that, but you're coming at me right now, so I'm going to call you out on that. Ravens,
that's fair.
Dolphins from last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
bet.
I own up to that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So yeah, there you go. Bandwagon. As a kid, yeah. Young Iwanyk.
Why are you
was a
so triggered?
bandwagon.
Yeah,
I'm not.
you
I'm
are.
just pointing
You
this
really are.
out.
It's just-
Because I have to explain this all the time. I figured you would have heard this by
You're
now.
just really basic then? You just have really basic choices? Is that
I'm
what it
fine
is?
with that. I'm good with that. I also like to still cheer for championships. I've seen a lot of championships in my life.
So it happens when you pick the best team with
Yeah.
the biggest budget. Yeah, we could.
Are you,
all
you gonna be a
Yeah.
Dodgers fan now?
No,
Matt,
especially with my
sure
Yankees.
he is, yeah.
Sticking with my
Soto?
Yankees.
Yeah.
They're my team. I won't ditch my teams.
Okay.
But I've seen the Yankees win 4 world titles. Lakers,
me.
I've seen them win 6. I should get rings. I don't even have the fingers for them though. I have to choose which day I want to wear the rings.
Yeah, just wild.
Can you tell he's excited to go speak to up and coming broadcast students at Nate? He's just pumping himself
yeah.
up.
I'm going to Nate.
That's what's happening today?
Yeah, I have to
Good
leave
for
a little
you.
early.
Yeah.
to speak.
Nice.
First time ever.
Really?
Yeah. I've taken on like 10 practicum kids in my time. They've never asked me back.
Yeah, I
This
was going to
week.
say this is like Team Nate here. Like almost everybody's been at Nate, right?
Yeah, except for Jolene.
Yeah, that's how
There
we
you
got
go.
into this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our goal today is to really pump him up so he feels super good about himself before
then-
he goes.
Balls?
His confidence is at
I'm
120
sorry,
right
I'll be
now.
fine.
You're not a bandwagoner. You're a loyal, diehard fan.
I am.
You are
I have never
unbelievable.
ditched
You
my
never
teams.
waver. You
I
are
will.
the
I
best,
don't
Matthew.
waver. I will not ditch my teams.
But do you only pick teams
Sorry, I
once
missed the memo.
once you've like really seen that they're good? Like, is that the? Is
No,
that
I was
what it
8,
is?
9, 10 when I picked my teams, so they were good at
How
that
did
time.
you pick your team?
They were good. They're all different and stuff. But like Manchester United, it's like David Beckham was part of the reason.
Could
Yeah,
have just
David
lied.
Beckham.
You could have just lied and been like, "I like the colors."
No, I'm an 8, 9, 10-year-old. What do I know?
Something
I
that
don't know
I've-
anything.
Okay, so we were
Also,
talking.
Kobe fan. That's why I
Oh,
got into the Lakers.
conveniently.
I thought.
Okay,
Convenient.
I'm on that. I'm on that train.
It's hard not to be a Kobe fan. It's just wrong not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of college football, there's been a lot of storming the field lately. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
Like the 2 times people stormed and then they had to get off the field. How do you feel about storming the field as a fan?
I think it would be so much fun to go do.
Okay.
I understand the safety aspect that has come into this, though, where like the other teams are trying to get off the field.
Yeah.
There's the media interviews that are happening. Basketball courts, like we've seen some bumping ins.
Probably don't do it.
I don't want to because I think there has to be like it has to be a massive upset. When Vanderbilt did it to Alabama this year, that was a big deal.
They threw the goalposts in the river.
Yes, they did.
Like 3 miles away.
And for me, I'm okay for the big upset. Like Kansas is number 1 in college basketball right now. If they took on some random school that we don't know of in a January and they knock off Kansas, I have no problem with that team storming the fields. But that's about it. Like it has to be a big upset. When Arizona State did it with BYU this week, I don't get it. And it was also, there was 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Did they put the time back on the clock?
I think they did. Eric told me that they did.
See,
Stop doing it.
I think
Sorry.
that it. Well, I'm with you. I think that it's so cringy because basically you're admitting that you didn't think you were good. You should.
point.
That's a great point.
You should just assume that you were misranked, and then if you win, that you were supposed to win. So don't storm the field.
I don't disagree. But there is obviously, we all know in the college system, there is the haves and there's the have nots. But if for whatever odd reason a have not gets to the level in which they're able to compete 1 year, just like it's a Cinderella story, and they knock off one of the Giants, do we not think that they should? because that's kind of this. That would be the one situation for me where I'm like, okay, I understand. Like this is a Cinderella run. You've knocked off one of the biggest giants in sports. Somebody in the SEC. That I could see and understand. But like all these ones where it's just like now it's become commonplace. 100% agree with you. It's like stop doing it. But it's just that one where it's like, okay, SMU somehow figured out a way to be good again, and then they beat Alabama.
Okay, I give that to you. You're right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
If you're like clearly that you are under resourced.
Yeah.
And then you actually are good, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, we deserve to storm the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oklahoma did it against Bama this week, and now Oklahoma's not having a good year. But you're Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So
You're
that's
the
where I would.
Sooners,
Yeah.
and you're going to storm the field because you'll be Bama, who also aren't really actually having a great year themselves.
Yeah.
Although they'll be in the playoffs because of the college committee. Well, that's another day.
That's another.
That it's like, why are you storming the
Yeah,
field? And
I fully agree with that.
That's silly.
It's a great point to that. The Jolene had though. Like I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it's what. You
Yeah.
guys think
Yeah.
you're bad then too? Okay, cool. Good job. Okay. Congratulations. At least I guess you have some self-awareness. But you're also OU. You should be able to puff your chest and be like, yeah, we should beat Bama. Why are you storming the field?
But I don't think the students really care about that. I think they just want to get on the field and just cause a little bit of ruckus.
Yeah.
You got to have more pride in your team than that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I know what I'm
fully
talking
agree.
about that, Nate, today.
Yeah.
We're not talking about radio today. We're talking about athletic pride. You don't storm that court.
You got to show
all
up at
50
Nate
of them?
first. Yeah.
Like there's a Concordia versus Nate matchup at Silent Ice, and the boys are like, "Yeah, it wasn't well attended." I'm like, "How many people?" They're like, "Well, maybe 180 of them were in the boxes." And so there was like 20. I'm like, yeah, it's a friends and family league. Like it is what it is.
We would Concordia would have its home rink at Clairview A, where the Edmonton Red Wings would play out of.
Yep.
And they would play before us. And we'd always like look in the stands and we'd be like, oh my God, we're going to
there's
have way
nobody
more
in the
people here
stands,
than
yeah.
these guys.
It's
and they were
brutal.
better. They were ACAC.
It's sad because it's actually like good hockey.
It
These
is.
are great hockey.
They're former
It's
junior
great
hockey players. Like,
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah.
And, maybe some of them have fallen through the cracks or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
But it's like, why can't they get even just a remotely better crowd?
I don't know. Well, because people don't. It's not the upper echelon. And we used to joke to some of the guys that ended up going and played in our league that went and played ACAC.
Yeah.
We'd be like, "That's what you got to look forward to. Enjoy it while
we
it
used
lasts."
to play the Bears when I coached there.
Right.
And like we had like legit players, like guys that were coming back from the AHL.
yeah.
So we had like good players, and we'd play the Bears, and the Bears would beat us because they're just deeper. But like the games would be like 4-2, 4-3. And so I remember the one
Like
year
Christmas time?
well, we tried to start doing that again.
Because that used to be a thing,
that used
wasn't
to
it?
be a
Like
massive thing, and
between
they
the
would sell out
between
Rexall.
conference seasons and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like winter break, they would
Yeah.
have them play.
Yeah, they used to sell at Rexall. So we had like, I think we played them once a year, and maybe the one time we played them twice. But we tried to do like the last game at Rexall, and we tried to pump this game up, and we were like on the news everywhere. We were on radio, we were doing everything, and it was like the crowd that showed up. It was just like, oh my god,
How many?
maybe 1,000.
No.
after like
Oh.
a 3-week push, like every day talking about this. The last game at Rexall.
Did you guys
Renewed
get the
rivalry.
Oilers locker room?
Nope. I don't even remember who. we got.
WHL visitors?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
You'd be like, I'm alumni.
People were happy to get out of there.
100%.
Yeah.
they were. Yeah.
Did not need to look back at that.
No. Good riddance.
I'll be sad when it's torn down, but now it's like tear it down.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's been let go. Like I don't even want to know what it looks like inside.
Somebody went in there recently, did a photo shoot. It's
There
been
was a
gutted.
media thing,
Yeah.
about a year ago or something.
When
there
they
was like
tear-
bats flying around.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
there when it was operational, but there
But now
was
it's
staff
full.
to
It's
take
their
them out.
house.
It is. There used to be a Rexall pigeon. I remember it was flying around during a game one time, and then it made it into a second game, and it came in through the garage, obviously. And I remember talking to I think it was George Wassilishin, who was the buildings manager, and I was like, George, or no, was it? Oh, anyway, I'm like, what happened to the Rexall pigeon? And all he said is, Rexall pigeon is no longer in Rexall.
He's living a new life.
He
a free
did.
life.
No,
You got
he was-
unalived?
He did.
Oh boy.
He was unalive.
Don't tell me that.
It was Gilbert De Silva who said that. Rexall Pigeon is no longer in Rexall. And I was like, you guys get him? Rexall Pigeon is no longer in Rexall.
That's tough.
Poor guy.
What?
He's
They're
just trying to-
sky rodents.
Wow.
Yeah, they're sky
harsh
rats. I
take.
agree.
They have
Pigeons.
bacteria and they carry diseases, and there's a lot of them.
Are you gonna get your bow out and shoot one?
I might.
I was waiting until you would say something. Took you a while there, Bells.
You think Kohler will let me?
He might.
Okay, good.
Can you shoot one?
Can I? Sure. Well, probably not. What I
never
know what
shot
I
Have you ever? You
I've
never shot one?
No.
So Kohler's never let you do it?
I don't know if he's ever asked.
I've never asked.
Oh, well, why not?
I'm 5 years into this show and I've never done it. They tried to get me to do it this year. It's just the timing didn't work out. Next year we're gonna do it. It's a great
Like I
show.
hear
though.
that most years.
Great show. Great host. Louis DeBrusque and Kohler were my co-hosts the other day. It was awesome. Yesterday's episode. Louis got a nice.
I don't
big
want to
buck
talk to
last
you
week.
again about this until you shoot a bow.
Yeah, I'm with Shawn on this.
Ouch.
We're not talking about Wild TV again until you shoot a bow.
Well, can we talk about Bozone Live?
Bozone Live or whatever the hell it is until you shoot something.
Does he have to shoot something?
don't
or
have
just
the
not
heart.
shoot
I
it?
just he
Like
just
even at a
literally is
target?
just like just that.
I
You need to see some
Jolene.
archery, some target practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. But like
Please.
Jolene asked me if I would kill something, and I said no. I
You
don't,
don't
have
have
the
to
heart.
kill anything.
I don't have the heart.
Yeah, he's a lover of
I love animals.
animals.
Just
yeah, small
put
little
a hole in the
animals.
wall.
They're delicious.
You want other people. You're fine with other people killing them. It's just
Yeah,
you-
that's right.
You yourself. Okay, it's
Absolutely.
well-
We had moose lasagna at the start of the season. It was
Wow.
How was it? How was it?
phenomenal.
Sounds really interesting.
I have never
was
thought
so
of something
good.
like that. That's amazing. Putting
was so-
game in your.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Have you tried
that,
bear?
yeah.
Did they have bear?
I don't think our hunters eat bear. They had bear when I was in Finland. Did you have bear? I had reindeer when I was in Finland.
I had that too in Finland.
you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different,
I brought
isn't
back
it?
like the cans of reindeer. And
Yeah.
I brought back a can of bear.
They have bear in can. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. Yeah.
But yeah,
Reindeer's like black meat.
I can't remember what it tasted like. Yeah.
It was good. Like it was sausage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I had.
Yeah, they're big on that in Finland and blueberries. Did you notice that they love blueberries?
No, but I love Finnish long drink.
Is that Finnish?
Yes.
The official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the Finnish long drink, legend of 1952. Drink unlike any other sparkling, refreshing, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada. Find a liquor store near you with it. They have a deal with OEG. You can get it at Rogers Place. Boom.
Oh,
Wow.
nice, Tommy. I'm gonna give you clicks for that. That was good.
You know what? You clip
was
that and
good.
you show them at Nate today.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
That's called a professional segue.
Two
right
hosts
there.
just playing off of each other.
Yeah.
Boom. Got it done.
No
Finnish long
words
Well
drink.
needed.
done.
Traditional, sugar-free.
Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried any drinks here since the day that Tom gave me 2 hoots.
Do we have any cold? long
No,
drinks
we
on it?
don't actually. I keep
God.
meaning to go
Is there
pick
any
some up.
warm long drinks?
No, I'm out, and I keep picking. I need to go pick
They're
some up.
so good.
You took that 6-pack one day.
Yeah, they were delicious.
I know.
Crushed them after a win.
Maybe after Nate, I'll go see if I can find some. I'll go to longdrink.com/Canada to find a liquor store near me.
There's one right by. I got some the other day at the liquor store right by our place in the Ice District.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
I like that one.
It's good. Good
They
variety.
usually have wine tasting on like a Thursday or Friday.
Yes, they do.
They'll just pour you like 2 or 3 little bits of wine.
yeah.
You don't have to go buy anything. A couple years ago, the guy told me that. He's like, yeah, you could just come for the wine tasting. I was like, I will absolutely come for the wine tasting.
See you there.
I don't think I took a 6-pack. I took a 4-liter of 2 hoots.
What do you mean
That
you
was
take a
delicious.
6-pack?
Yeah, you told me I took a 6-pack of the long drink.
I'm pretty sure you took
No,
like an entire
no, I took
case.
3. I took a 4-liter 2 hoots.
Yeah, I know you took the 4-liter too.
Buried that. It was delicious too.
What do you mean you buried that? You
stuff.
just took that.
Yeah, it's been like a month, Maddie.
Was it?
Yeah,
It's been that long.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Time just flies.
it does.
Incredible.
Good though, especially after wins. Okay, but going back to you, shoot something.
Okay.
Oh, actually, back
A
to
target.
the story. CJ in LA does say Nebraska stormed the field against Wisconsin this week. 2 under 500 teams.
Yeah, but when you think of both those teams, I guess maybe Wisconsin, you don't really think of them as a powerhouse.
Oh, Wisconsin historically is a historic. Like
Historically,
they've got
they've been
that,
good.
and it's like they haven't been good probably in about I would say 10 years, but they're a better program than There should be a better program than they are. And same with
Okay.
Nebraska.
But Nebraska,
Those two
when I
Big
think-
Tens, they should be better football programs.
Fair enough.
Who was the long?
But when I think
Tom
about
Osborne,
Nebraska, I
it
think
was.
that they're like a perennial powerhouse for whatever odd reason. Like
And they haven't
Nebraska's
been.
like, that's a team.
See, I feel like after 10 years, it's hard for the students to remember their legacy and remember that like they technically are a good team. So that's when it gets hard because they're all they know is them being a bad team. So then they get that loser mentality. But you got to fight against it. That's when the alumni has to come in and tell them you can't do stuff like that.
Well, they just need to find the right coaches.
Hey, now.
They never find the right coach.
Also, CJ in LA is like an international woman of mystery. She's in LA, she's in Chicago, she comes up here. What do you do?
We need more information on CJ in LA.
No, I think she likes being mysterious, but I follow her on Instagram and she's like, here. I'm like, where are you? That's amazing.
And we
What
got
do
to
you
stay in
do?
her good books.
We are.
She was
we
going to
have
host
stay
us
in
for
her
the
good books.
2028
That's right.
Olympics.
That is right. She's awesome.
We're going to take, at the very least, the hangout on the road in 2028.
Done.
She's
In
got this, like,
2026, I got to bring this on the road for the World Cup.
trifecta of excellent cities: LA, Chicago, God's country, Edmonton.
Yeah, she's hitting all the high points.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely.
I do love Chicago. I think it's
It's a
great city.
phenomenal
Yeah.
city. Why didn't you play there?
I don't know.
Then I can come visit you there. Why can't be?
Did you go visit him anywhere?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City multiple
But it
times?
was not because you had to work.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
So you didn't personally book a flight to go see
Don't
Belsey.
take that away.
yeah,
Don't try to drive
yeah,
a wedge, Maddie.
yeah. What are
I'm
you
not
doing
trying
here?
to drive away.
Don't
I'm
try to
just-
drive a
This is a
wedge.
beautiful friendship.
I know, I'm not
partnership.
saying that there's no beautiful friendship, but the way you made it sound
It
is like
blossomed in Oak City.
It did.
sure, but you said why don't you play in Chicago so I could come visit you there?
Yeah.
Maybe he
made it
would've-
sound like you would have visited him.
Probably
you
would have
would've.
went to visit him. Yeah.
Well, then why didn't you?
Probably
Why
would've.
didn't you play in
Would've booked
Chicago?
I don't know.
That's your fault. You didn't want to
That's
build
my
the
agent's
friendship.
fault.
Damn it. That's okay. We've
Yeah.
got CJ in LA / Chicago /
There it is.
Edmonton. I still love you.
I love you too, man.
Thanks.
Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout. They are brought to you by the High Product Marketing,
Segue.
official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that do bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. Nasty Club, we're down to the final thing that we need. And then I could get those all start getting out there. Store orders, everything was supposed to be shipped on or before December 15th. So I think we're still on pace for that one, as the order did go in a couple weeks ago. So once all that stuff gets produced and everything, it will get out to everyone. And a reminder, EST flyaway keyword, second last day to qualify. We're down to the seventh last keyword coming up later in this show, as we want to send you to LA. Speaking of LA, to go see Clippers, Warriors, Cards, Rams, as well as either the Oilers taking on the Ducks or the Kings. Friday, we give it away.
Sweet. It's going to be awesome. Hell of a trip.
I'm excited for whoever wins this.
Yeah.
I want the feedback from Intuit Dome, or like the report of how it was. That's what I'll be
wall.
looking forward to.
You
Yeah,
see
that
the
looks
wall?
really cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
I like that. And you have to be like in a secret club with the handshake and the code word to sit in that section, right?
You got to be a true fan.
True fan.
I was I was at Primetime Sports Conference. Well, I don't know if you guys know that. Sorry, my voice is really scratchy. It's somewhere out of nowhere. But they were talking to a lot of sports executives about the wall, and they were asking everybody's opinions, because I think there's like divided opinion about it. Because true, you get your fans like right behind the basket, and you want that energy, but also then it kind of creates this thing where it like even more separates people. And one of the good things about sports is that like it brings people together, so you can have people in two different jerseys sitting beside each other, and it's totally cool. But this thing like this, the wall sort of like it's already, sports are already like really tribal, and this like makes sports even more that way. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
It reminds me of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what
Yeah.
they said, but in a bad way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I played in a lot of different cities, and they always have like the wall, and they really have the ability to like do some really cool things. They were the ones that would drive all the chants for the building. Like, for whatever reason, the team would put like the onus on, whoever the leader of that section was, and they'd go nuts. So like there was times where like we had retirements, and they would like do all this, they'd get everybody together, and they'd create this like jersey. It was almost choreography. Like it was unbelievable. Like the way that they did it with just the fans, and they had like just like pieces of paper or whatever it looked like. They had the ability to do some really cool things. But I never felt like there was that it became too much of an issue. Like it was always like, we're just here to support our team. And there were so many other people in different jerseys, but they had to be outside of that. But it created just a very interesting vibe. And it was, I thought it was really fun. Now it got crazy in certain times because, you know, you'd have your opposing team have their like wall. So in Mannheim, you'd be up in kind of like the third level and you'd have like 3 sections and you could be up there and you can do your thing. In different cities, so like Augsburg would have been one of the smaller rinks. They had theirs at the back side of the rink. And so the one game we played, we lost in a shootout. And it's very tiered over there where it's like, if you're the haves, you need to win. And if you're the have-nots, like whatever it is, what it is. So we lost in a shootout and we were one of the have teams. And our fans tried to light their building on fire. It's kind of funny. But like, so it creates, if you try to do that in that section, like there's fights all day. But if you are over there, you can do kind of whatever you want, and like you're in your own world. So I thought it was unique, but I thought it created, like I guess more dueling sections, right? Like if the Mannheim fans traveled really well, then it'd be like them versus them, and it'd be back and forth. So I thought it created a really cool atmosphere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like the dueling sections thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're a fan and you're traveling, and then you can be around other people, other fans, and like make friends that way.
And it actually limits a lot of fights.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's one of the biggest reasons in Europe that they do this is that they want them separated because the supporters group often, then there's like the ultras inside the supporters group.
Right.
They're the fighters. Like there are certain times where certain soccer clubs will meet, and Eric and I will talk about like, I can't wait to see what's happening before the match between the fans because they're going to be beating the crap out of each other.
Yes.
And the videos come in like the streets of some place in Italy. The 2 fans have met and they're just beating on each other.
Yeah.
And so that's to save it in the stadium to make sure like, no, we're going to keep you guys separated. You guys sell a cheer here. You guys cheer there. I like the idea of those supporters group, the section, and being just with your people. Just because like you have the rest of if you want to sit with other people, like if you are an Oilers fan, you want to sit with Flames fan, would have the rest of the rink to do that. But in this one section, you're there to cheer on your team, but you also have a responsibility if you're sitting in those sections, which is there's no just watching the game. There's no arms crossed, I'm a GM. No, you're bringing the noise, you're bringing chants, you're doing what you can to bring an atmosphere because you now have a role to do. You have a job basically to do. And I think more North American teams need to go look at doing that. Like college sports down south, they have the student section.
Yeah.
The student section's all over the place. It's not like Cameron Indoor Arena with Duke. They have their student sections. Like there's the student sections always. That's kind of similar. The supporters group. And I've gone to a couple Canada soccer matches in the supporters group area. And it's nice being just a part of like we're all in this together. We're all cheering for one thing and we're here to bring the noise and bring the energy. And I love it. I'm a big fan of what's happening over in Europe, and I want to see more of that here, outside of the fighting. We don't need Oilers and Flames fans to meet on White Ave with a big fight before a big.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, it's Canucks fans that Oilers and Flames fans fight with.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say?
No.
No, I was just going to say, like, when you look at those fans and those different groups, like there's so many, like, I think the biggest problem with the fact that, okay, half the people don't like it versus half the people do like it is the fact that it's not normal here in North America, right? North America is like, you get your ticket, you sit wherever the hell you please, you do your thing, and then you leave. There, it's so much like, this is our home rink, and we're going to make this thing, like, as hard to play in as possible. So you want to have a massive supporter section, make it a massive supporter section. If you want to have a small one because you're building smaller, then here it is, right? So I think it's just because of that, that's why they're like, well, I don't really like care for this or care for that, but those rinks are pretty safe over there.
There's a little bit more gamesmanship with the way the crowd is set up, basically.
And also over there, like it is not uncommon to travel. You have your supporters group often people travel to other teams, and like teams have to allocate a certain amount of tickets to the other team so that their supporters can go take it. Tonight's Champions League, or this afternoon will be Champions League out in Europe. Liverpool's hosting Real Madrid. There'll be a lot of Real Madrid supporters that will make the trek to Liverpool middle of the week, and they're going to go to Liverpool to go watch the game.
Yeah.
So like that's part of the supporter section
like
is
some of the
that
stuff.
That's part of the supporter section is too, so that like they're also going to go on the road, and they travel a lot more in Europe, not caring what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
They are going to. It's like I said, Liverpool home to Real Madrid today. Madrid fans are going, we're going to Liverpool on this Wednesday because our team's playing, and they do that constantly.
Didn't they prevent that recently in like the Stanley Cup Finals? Didn't they prevent people from? Oh, it was not the finals. It was a playoff series.
There are teams that have done that. I'm trying to remember which teams have done that. The Preds did it years ago. I think they were taking on Chicago, and they wouldn't let anyone with an Illinois address buy tickets.
Yeah,
That's
still
been
like
happening
that.
a lot lately.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They're not allowing people from the opposing team to come in.
But I guess they're actively trying to make it a hard place to play.
The home ice,
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
where it's like, if you had the supporter section, then you could also almost create like just we have this one half section over here that
Way
is for
up
the
there.
away people. And we won't sell it to anyone else, but we'll give it to
that's for
where
you
the
guys.
Panthers taking on the Oilers. We'll go to the Oilers and say, we've got 400 tickets for you. Do as you please.
Yep.
That's for your fans. You guys can go sit over there.
Yep. And it's like you can put them in the worst seats possible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your family up there.
They'll complain, but you can
they'll
do that.
complain, but guess what? You can go sit up there.
Yeah. I hope the wall is successful with the Clippers so that more teams
Yeah.
try to do this. I wish the Oilers had a little bit more of an atmosphere during the regular season. And I wish that there was a half a section somewhere or something that was just dedicated to the noise. Because I know there's a lot of fans that are going, I don't want to cheer. I'm there to watch hockey. I'm there to focus. And there are those.
But what are you focusing on?
Well, they want to analyze the game. And, there's like that.
Well, we
The
know how
harder
that
you-
we know how that's been
The
going.
harder you focus, the better they play.
Or like they want to just sit quiet. And like, if you want to go do that, sure, go do that. Spend your money, go do that, all of that. But I'm of the mindset that the people in the stadium help impact the game.
Like
the
if they're saying, like, I'm going to stare at McDavid's head, the back of his head, and the more I stare at him, I'm going to get inside his head and be like, you got to go.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
That's how it works. You didn't know that?
I didn't know
But
that.
that's
Okay.
where if you had just that one half section somewhere in Rogers that was just dedicated to the noise, could that help the Oiler players themselves that extra game or two throughout the regular season?
Like
You know,
they should take that band and remove them from where they currently are, put them the top of whatever the lower bowl at the end, create that whole section, have the other guys with the drums. You guys go nuts, do whatever you want, and then like let's make this thing crazy because one of the biggest problems, especially in early years of Rogers, and I wouldn't say it's as much now, but early years Rogers, man, there was times it was quiet. Like,
it was a library.
It was a library.
It was a full library.
And maybe that's just because it's been priced out.
Well, that's
But-
part of like, and I don't, because I get in trouble with this sometimes during the playoffs and stuff. And I'm not trying to say that people that have the money right now that go to Rogers Place for Oiler games aren't real fans.
They are real
but
fans.
there's also
they're real fans. But
Yeah.
But there's also different, like the people that have the money, there's a status to it. They're not there to go cheer. They're there to bring a client or things like that. It's become that. It's not become the fans meet to watch their team as much. And the more vocal fans, they've been priced out.
Yes.
They can't get it.
yeah.
And that's where
sucks.
you have that section where I don't know how much the wall tickets are, but like I know soccer supporters group sections usually are like well priced.
Yep.
They're not expensive. They're not the most expensive seats or whatever, but you've got to be a supporter. Like I'm part of the Canadian Soccer Voyagers. I pay my yearly dues to be.
Do you put
member.
face paint on?
I've never put
Do you put a
face
cape on?
No.
No.
I've
then
never
you're not
gone
a
that
supporter.
far. I've got my scarf and I've got my kit. But there's Larry Zima,
I wanna-
one of our
I wanna be
nasties.
driving
Larry,
down
He
the
yeah.
fully decked out.
I
He's
want to be
great.
driving down the street one day and then look over and be like, who's this guy wearing red spandex? This guy's got a cape on. And I'm like, no way, that's Matty. That's why I want to see that one day.
He's a voyageur.
He's exactly.
You'll have to be in Vancouver to see that one.
Well, I want to see it one day.
Maybe if I'm in Vancouver, when I'll do that.
Really quickly, we stirred up a hornet's nest a little bit yesterday with Pagnotta's post or his clip. It hurts the truth. Did you see that, Maddie?
No, I missed
Did you
it.
see it, Jolene?
I did not.
Oh, well,
It got spicy.
it got spicy. Some Oiler fans are mad.
It's funny because I kicked it twice, the Hornets net twice, in a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
On a completely different page of mine. But yeah, like I was kicking Hornets nest yesterday.
And then I was
so-
like, hey guys,
Oh,
look
and
at
some
this.
potential targets for the Oilers.
What can you recap it?
Just So a lot of people, obviously, lots of trade talk as we cover the Oilers in regard to defensemen. And Pagnotta put it out there last week, and like as much to the chagrin of many Oilers fans, Dave is like dialed right in. And he's like, you're not getting Colton Parayko. You're not getting Rasmus Anderson. You're not getting Mike Matheson. And he's like, David Savard is who they were watching last week. There might be a few other guys. And people are like, this guy doesn't know anything. He's always wrong. And then I think one response was like middle fingers.
Yes.
And then people are coming after me. I'm like, I didn't say it. This is what we're talking about. And it's not even. Anyway, I just had fun with it. I don't know, Belzy. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it, but I
got a kick out of it.
I was laughing at the responses. I was like, oh, okay. Watch our show on Saturdays.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
There was a lot of people that started following though yesterday, which was good.
Because it's a great program, and you get the Oilers goggles off on Saturdays on Hello Hockey.
I like this one. He's never been right about anything.
Ooh, that's so harsh.
He's broken so many things.
No one should waste their time listening to him anyway.
The best one I saw was, I don't believe him because he's not a true. Where do you even see him? I'm like, he's on NHL Network every day.
Yeah,
but we don't see it here because we don't get NHL Network.
Yeah, we do not.
It was kind of funny.
It was funny. I just, because since we were talking about Oilers fans, I was like, kind of rattled them a little bit.
Yeah, it's not hard to do though.
No, although one person on there said you underestimate the intelligence of Oiler fans. They're actually really smart. They know what they're talking about. And that I don't disagree with that person. That person's actually quite correct. But it's the ones that are the most boisterous that generally are hopeful and have that wishful thinking, as opposed to being methodical and logical about the future of the team.
Yeah,
just something I
would love to sit down and have conversations with people, right? Like, because I think personally, if you come at it from a logical standpoint and you actually want to have the conversation, I can explain why I heard this, or David could explain why he heard that, and let's have an honest conversation.
Yeah.
But it's like, he doesn't know anything. Well,
a few of them are like,
one of us is an insider, one of us is not.
Yeah.
So I think usually when you get paid to be an insider, it's to know inside information.
Correct.
And so sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes teams go different ways, but you still hear the information that you hear.
Yeah.
It's no different than what Elliot Friedman does. He comes on with the exact same stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they might be interested in this guy. Well, that's the inside information that's going out there. So you can't take it so literally and be like, oh, that's the worst thing, and how dare they do that? Well, this is the name right now. It might be the name tomorrow. There might be another guy that pops in, 3 hours from now. But right now, this is the guy that they're focusing on. So, like, he's not wrong in any shape or form.
It was interesting to and that's kind of why I brought it up. You saw different variations of opinions because it rattled the cage a little bit. But one person was like, "There's no way that," and the name was David Savard that Dave had brought up last week prior to the Oilers Habs game. And the one person's like, "There's no way that that's the target. We really know who." The Oilers are going to be going after, and it is a big. I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like, oh, this person. It feels like they want to be lied to, and then eventually let down. But it's that hope and excitement that they are clinging to that gets them excited. And I just thought it was a unique and interesting perspective on how fans react to things.
Oh, So the other Hornets nets that I kicked yesterday was some guy. It was not even a fan. He just was talking about like different levels and leagues in minor hockey, and so they happened to bring up our league. And the one person was like, "Hey, if you look at these stats, so it was like AEHL, CSSHL, the JPHL, and there was another league, and it was like percentage of players based on these 112. Where did they all come from?" And so like people couldn't figure it out. And so he threw out the HSL comment, and then you got these these people that came in and they started just ripping it, like just ripping everything. So I said, okay, we'd happily play anyone. So I think if you really feel that we suck and that we have no business being around, then play us. And so then the response was like, you guys wouldn't even be in the same boat. The Calgary team sucks. And I said, once again, I stand by what I said. It's HC Edmonton. if you want to play us, we happen to have a rink. We have a ref academy, so we can get any refs at any time. You pick whatever team you want, come play us. So it went quiet. And then today,
Oh, it's getting juicy.
charging $1,500 per game in the HSL. It's no wonder they were able to build this rink. Keep kidding yourself about the quality of the JPHL. I'm like, wow, like the misinformation and the fact that you don't even want to sit down and have a conversation, see what's true versus what's not true, and you just listen to the crap. I'm like, man, like people just don't figure it out because they don't want knowledge, apparently. So I'm going to probably respond at some point
Uh-oh.
because now I just want to be spicy.
Uh-oh.
Don't let him get to you. Don't let him win like
The
that.
state of minor hockey.
No, but I think
Can of
it's,
worms. Can
like,
of worms.
it makes me laugh because it's like, okay, well, why do minor hockey coaches exist? So that they can coach kids to try to get to the next level. So because you're unsanctioned versus sanctioned, does that make you wrong versus him wrong? No. They're all in it for the exact same reasons, and I don't understand how we forgot about that.
Yeah, people tend to think there's more going on than what is actually happening. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I feel like that happens. Like that's true for the insider stuff too. People just tend to think that like you are, what they don't realize is like you said, you hear a lot of things, and then you kind of all of those things might be true, and then at the end of the day, like only one thing actually ends up happening. Or with this minor hockey thing, like it's pretty simple. Like most people's intentions are good, but people always like read into stuff however they want to see it, and you can make it seem like more than it is.
Yep.
And in reality, it's just regular people trying to put together a minor hockey program. It's regular people trying to figure out like what's happening with XYZ team. Like it's pretty normal. But it's easy to like create narratives.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And then people fall for it all the time.
Yeah.
Which is comical.
Because you see like you see somebody on Reddit post like, I'm friends with so-and-so who said this.
Yeah.
And then people like latch onto that. You're like, do you realize it's like an anonymous Reddit comment? Like it means nothing.
Reddit, because things can just blow up from Reddit
things
quite
do blow up.
easily.
Yeah.
Sideways.
That's where I get all my information.
Uh-oh.
I love Reddit. Oh, Reddit I absolutely love.
I found out, I didn't know I was actually on Reddit, but the one Reddit thing I go to is My Vegas. It's an MGM rewards app, and I like track it to see which hotel room comps are available.
Wow.
And I didn't know it was a Reddit thread,
That is
but
a
I
good
never.
tip.
That's one I frequent, and I didn't realize I was on Reddit. I don't have an account, but
There's a subreddit for a lot of things.
yeah.
I like this one.
What?
Tommy's buddy is a B-level insider. If that comes from Friedman or Saravalli, it would have more substance.
Oh,
Whoa.
He's broken
no.
just as much as those guys. Like it's funny.
but
anyway.
we won't say anything mean about any of our other
No.
colleagues. Yeah.
No.
We can
Anyway.
say that
Wow.
some other time.
Spice.
This is the EST Hangout. Matt Iwanyk, Shawn Belle, Jolene Latimer, and Tom Gazzola with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, also wherever you get your podcasts. Time now for the keyword for the EST Flyway to LA, presented by the 780 Lamass low budget local shop, online at 780.com or in store. They've got 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport, December 26th through to the 30th, which means you'd be seeing Clippers Warriors in a month from today if you win this trip. Rams, Cards, SoFi Stadium. You got the Oilers taking on either the Ducks or the Kings. Flights, hotel, cars, all given to you by Edmonton Sports Talk, and like I said, presented by the 780. Seventh last chance to qualify. The keyword for today: football. Football, very simple. Football, FOOTBALL, football. Text it to 780-218-9999, and you will go into a draw. Trev will call someone, we'll speak to you on the air, and you will be one of the late qualifiers for the EST Flyaways. We give this away on Friday morning during the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, the EST Flyway presented by the 780. Want to get to AccuSteel Road Warriors, which is brought to you by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers, custom manufacturing of heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas equipment, highway transportation, trusted by leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. It is a busy night in sports today. You've got, as I've said, Champions League, NHL, NBA, as we get the NFL tomorrow. But one team that's going on the road, well, I guess they're both going on the road. It's Toronto and Ottawa in the PWHL. They're coming in February. The league gets going on the 30th.
Yes.
Is that
That is Puck Drop on season 2.
Yeah, season 2. With new jerseys,
Yeah.
all of that. They didn't have
Team
team
names.
names. Team names are new for this year
Yes.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Names and
okay.
jerseys are new.
Last I saw, ticket sales for that game coming here in February between Toronto and Ottawa looked really good.
Actually, I don't know anything about the ticket sales, so you got me there. But
No, I'm like it. When I looked on Ticketmaster a couple days ago, I think it was only Upper Bowl was left.
This is in Ottawa?
This is the one in Edmonton.
Oh, the
here.
one in Edmonton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one
it
coming
was
here.
like the corners. There was just a few left
like
in the
it-
corners.
There wasn't enough talk, I think, about how quickly things, unless I'm misreading Ticketmaster or they didn't post everything.
because that only went on sale like a week ago, right?
Friday.
Maybe less. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it was
That's
Friday.
quick.
Yeah.
Because they're here
that,
Feb
yeah.
16. I'm just gonna do 5 tickets
During
right
the Four
now.
Nations face off, so the timing's great.
It's the day after the Edmonton Sports Talk Bond Spiel that's happening.
Oh, you guys are having a bond spiel? Wait, what?
Details are coming.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I've
well,
just got-
I've
I've
got to
working on that.
block that off my calendar. I'll definitely, I'm
let's
assuming I'll
go.
get invited.
I've got
Hopefully
5 tickets in this one section. I've got 2 tickets in this other section.
Bond spiel?
Yeah.
No, I'm
like,
seriously
like, I
going
hope
to
I
do
get
that.
invited.
I've got 3 tickets in this other one, and I got 3 tickets in this other one. There's less than 15 tickets available
That's crazy. That's
on
really good.
Ticketmaster right now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
Good for them. And I'm curious to what extent the league is testing this as an expansion market, because they said that next year they will likely expand to 2 teams.
They would do 2 teams?
Yeah, I don't think they've some people say they've already picked the teams, but I was just on a call with the league yesterday. It was a media availability, and they said they hadn't. So I'm curious to what extent this whole tour is kind of testing all the markets that have interest.
I would say hi.
Yes.
Because we had Cassie Campbell, and she talked about just expansion and where they were going to go, and she kind of just mentioned like if they are going to do it, it's going to be obviously solid markets and people that have legit backing, so that they can make it keep it viable. And then obviously we chatted about it and like where would be the best cities, but Edmonton would be a great spot for it. I think Vancouver, Calgary.
You'd have to have 2 of those 3.
yeah.
If you're expanding by 2.
Saskatoon could do it too.
I don't think Saskatoon's getting one.
Really?
No.
Why?
I don't think that they're ever going to get anything over there. I really don't. I just don't think. And I love Saskatoon, great place. I just don't think they have enough people.
I feel like the PWHL would thrive in Saskatoon.
You're probably not wrong, but
Yeah.
I would see them going to like a bigger center, especially for travel. They like you said, they need to have 2 teams close to each other. They couldn't do like Calgary and Saskatoon. That's way too Canadian. So it'd have to be like somewhere in the U.S. and somewhere in Canada that are nearby.
Oh, you think it'd have to be an American?
Yeah.
Winnipeg? Oh, Minnesota already has a
Well,
team.
because I was going to say then I feel like wouldn't that Seattle, Vancouver be the natural
Yeah.
first
That-
2?
that would be
Yeah,
nice.
that'd
Go
be good.
west.
I'd have
If
a
you're going to
tough
go by
time-
2, or do you stick out east and do 2 more teams out east, and then 1 year go 4 teams out west?
Well, they wouldn't expand to 4 teams.
You don't
for
think
so
they could
long.
do 4 in a couple
No.
years?
I would have a tough time believing that Edmonton wouldn't be a spot.
Not right away, I don't think, though.
over Calgary?
Yeah.
See, I thought it would be Calgary. Just I think someone told me that, but like who knows how reliable that information is. But then with Edmonton got the whatever
a
the tour,
takeover?
yeah, the takeover tour thing,
what it's called?
and Calgary didn't get it. So I was like, well, maybe they are considering
And just
Edmonton.
the arena. That
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
play
Well,
here,
Calgary's
like-
getting.
I know they're getting
Calgary
one,
has
but
18 teams playing out of one arena.
That's true.
So
That's actually a really good
availability
point.
is not easy. So here you'd have 2 teams right now, potentially a third one. It's a state of the art arena.
There's still some talk of building a new arena right beside Rogers Place.
Is that still going on?
That one has
I
kind
thought
of
that
like
died. Like
it died, and then some. There was more discussion of doing it again. It'd be like an 8,000 or 9,000 seat arena.
because they were originally trying to do that at Nate
Yeah,
in the Blatchford lands there, and that's when all that stuff happened, where the U of A lost their game, the Oilers rookie game.
yeah.
And then McHugh and Nate ended up getting it. That's when the talks had started where it was going to go into Blatchford. And then it shifted to where was it Boyle Street, right? Boyle Street?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's,
Well,
the-
it's now. It was.
Well,
Boyle
it was
Street.
Boyle Street, but
Yeah.
that area was going to be a 9,000 seat arena,
Yeah.
and McEwen was going to play out of there. And I think the Oil Kings were actually going to move
Oil
there.
Kings were going to move, yeah.
And I think they wanted the Bears to actually go there as well. And so
I would
part of the,
Picket that. I would be outside boycotting the hell out of that.
But that's
Don't leave Claire Drake.
But that's part of the reason why they ended up losing that game, is because that's what the conversation was going to. And then the Bears ended up building that one, by the Saville Center.
But what by the
Arena?
Saville
Didn't
Center?
they? No, they didn't end up building it. They wanted to build.
Yeah,
by
they
the
were
Saville
planning on
Center.
building something.
And then the conversations broke down. They said, okay, enough with that. And then now they moved forward with Nate and McEwen. So I thought that died like 6 years ago.
It was a thing before COVID. Like, apparently it was pretty close.
Oh, yeah. Because they were
And
going to
then-
do the Oilers Institute. And that's why they started doing the hockey
Yeah.
schools
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And they were trying to model that after Red Bull.
Yeah. But someone brought it up about a year ago to me, and they're like, they have this idea. They might look at it again. Plus, it would also bring in mid-level concerts and provide a good venue for it. Like, not necessarily an 18,000 seat concert. There's been concerts that have like 5,000 people at Rogers Place, and you're like, ugh, I don't know if this is too good. But yeah, I don't know where it's at now. But I know they want to get going on phase 2 of Ice District.
Yeah.
They've torn some stuff down. There's just those empty lots there. I know there's some parking there, but
That would have been such a cool thing, though. Like if they were able to build like the institute and have it like Red Bull, and
yeah.
What
all
does
state-
Red Bull do? I don't think I know.
so they have like this state of the art training facility in Salzburg. And athletes from all around the world come in there. They have like zero gravity chambers. They have all these different things that they do for like training, and they produce like some serious athletes out of there. And they wanted to actually replicate that here. So it started off going to Nate. Actually started off with the Bears conversation, and then it shifted to Nate because they had all that land up there, and Nate's 10 minutes from downtown, I guess. And then it shifted to McEwen because McEwen was there, and they wanted to somehow partner with Nate and McEwen, and then have that rink and that facility and be able to do all that stuff out of that area. So it would have been a really, really cool thing if they were able to build it.
That'd be super integrated.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
And then they would have had the hockey schools. They would have had, I think, an academy all through the Oilers Institute. So, yeah.
It's a good dream, I guess.
A man can dream.
There's been a lot of dreams.
So Seattle, Vancouver for PWHL. We're declaring it here on the Hangout.
I just feel like if you're gonna expand out west, you have to have two teams near each other.
I agree.
do they-
If you're dealing with financial aspects,
Do they need to put a team in Western Canada? I mean, like in the prairies.
No, I don't think they do. Not yet.
Okay. People
Like,
just.
what about
support-
like
I think
gradual
Vancouver's a bigger deal
progression?
than the prairies. You want to get that market. You want to lock down.
But isn't that too far from where the rest of the teams are?
Right.
Well, that's
Could
why I'm
be.
saying like you need that. And if you had a Seattle,
What about
know,
into
you
the
have-
Midwest?
You almost have to put 4 teams.
that's why I
Yeah.
thought, can you do 2 teams out east or whatever
Yeah.
if you're going to that, and wait a few more years and plan out and have a 4-team West division that you're unveiling. Like in 3 years from now, announcing that you have Vancouver, you have Seattle, you have Edmonton, you have Winnipeg, or whatever it might be.
What about Chicago, Winnipeg for the next expansion? Because Winnipeg's pretty close to Minnesota. There's already a team there. It's pretty close to Chicago
Well, Edmonton
relatively.
did just get direct flight to Chicago.
Well, we got it back, thank God.
We don't need the Winnipeg there.
Aren't are they going to Winnipeg for the takeover tour?
I have to double check.
Another question is, when they do expand, are they going to open up the teams for like a local ownership group, or is it just going to be league owned?
Are they all Link owned right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same guy, right?
Yeah. Mark Walter.
Yeah. I heard he was
So
willing to sell some, though.
See, that's
Heard that last year.
Yeah. They said they're not gonna, for the next 2, they're only gonna be league owned,
Yeah.
but that could change. Who knows?
Yeah.
well, the CBL started that way. It was all league owned. Edmonton was kind of the first market that sold off. I don't know if anyone else has been sold off since, but it did start off as fully league owned, and then they want to that they do want to get to a point where they have ownership everywhere.
Doesn't Drake own Scarborough or
He had something
Yeah.
maybe involved. You might be correct on that,
Yeah.
because that's how J. Cole signed there for
Yeah.
the year or whatever. The takeover games this year, they've got Buffalo, Denver, Detroit, Raleigh, St. Louis, Seattle. They have Quebec City, Vancouver, and Edmonton. Interesting.
Quebec City.
I could see that one happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
because they already have the Montreal team, so that's easy.
And
Victoire.
you're not worried about the NHL coming anytime. Like
No.
you
Yeah,
could stake a
that's
claim
definitely
there,
not
but like
going.
we're
Obvious.
giving you pro hockey.
Yeah. That would actually be a really good one.
I like that.
But yeah, if you're gonna have Seattle, because
said
you're playing one
Buffalo
there,
too?
Buffalo's there.
I could also see Buffalo because it keeps everything there. Travel's not as
Good
bad.
point.
Buffalo and Quebec City, like
The only way
makes
Seattle
sense.
gets it is there. Then it's either you getting Vancouver or Edmonton, and it makes more sense to have Vancouver than Edmonton.
Yes,
in my mind,
that's
yeah,
from a fiscal aspect of things.
yeah.
Is there a lot like what was if the media conference yesterday? Like, there's got to be. It feels like a ton of positive momentum. Like, what was the vibe? What were some things that you took away from that?
Actually, it was a lot of just like, I guess, practical questions.
No,
Yeah, like I think I was at the media day for the Scepters like 2 weeks ago, and it was the same thing where the girls were saying like we're just happy to get over the historic first storylines and just start talking about like actual nuts and bolts hockey. And it seemed like that was what was also happening yesterday in the press conference, where people were asking like the rule changes or hitting. Like obviously that's like a huge topic. Is the officiating going to be more consistent, which is a topic for every sports league ever. But at least like we're getting down to like normal sports stuff now, rather than like just like, oh, this is so good. There were also hard questions. Like Natalie Darwitz, she obviously got let go after winning a championship, and that story is not really known. Like there's just not a lot of information on what happened there, and people were actually asking that question in the press conference, which I thought was like good, because normally in a lot of women's sports, like it tends to be that people want to be really positive, which is great. But then I think the next level is like just being normal. So yeah, the vibe was normal, which was cool. I liked that.
What are the rule changes this year?
They have that no escape rule.
that's cool. We were talking about that on last week's Hello Hockey.
Yeah.
Tell people, because if they didn't catch it.
So if you get a penalty, then the line that you got the penalty with has to stay on the ice until the first whistle. I think it
Basically,
is.
can't put penalty killers on.
So it's almost like the icing rule in that sense. Like
It is,
it's
yeah.
the team that's on the ice, they're stuck out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fascinating.
Imagine you get like the biggest cherry picker on the team has to PK.
Well, or like you get that one third line team or that fourth liner who takes a penalty against the Oilers, and all of a sudden it's that fourth line going up against Connor, Leon,
Right.
On the Oilers power play. Like, well, and this year's hasn't been as good as it once was, but still like that. And then it's like, oh, and you're just, and now they can't do it until first whistle, or could they on the fly change?
No, I think it has to be pretty sure it has to be the first whistle.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That's amazing.
I think, but I don't actually know.
Like if you got caught out for like a minute shift, you took the penalty and you got to stay out there again.
Imagine
And then you get hemmed in because the Oilers are just going to hem you in for 2 minutes straight. So you could have a 3 minute shift.
you're trying to win that face off back to your goalie.
Yeah, good luck recovering.
Or you get it in the neutral zone and then you flip it over the glass.
So it requires any player on a team that takes a penalty to stay on the ice until after the ensuing face-off.
Okay, so then you can change. Yeah. Okay.
So, but if you win that face-off, you're sending that down the ice,
Away you go.
and you're off
Yeah,
to that bench. But if you lose that face-off,
Look out.
You're out there for
Especially
a
if you
while.
get hemmed in for a while.
yeah, you've had that long shift.
Oh,
Your teammate took that penalty after a 45-second shift. You got to stay on the ice.
what was the game recently with the Oilers?
Shorthanded.
Where they won in OT, but the one defenseman, I can't remember who they played, was out there for like 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes of the overtime, and he was just sucking wind and he couldn't even move. Like that would be the same situation. And then there was a full line change that happened. I think it was Hyman, Nuge, and either Ekholm or Darnell. They hemmed that line in. They changed, and then McDavid, Bouchard, and Draisaitl came on, and it was like within 10 seconds of them being on,
scored.
They scored. It was the
Trying to
one where
remember that
Draisaitl went short side,
yes.
coming right off the bench. I can't remember who that was against.
That was, hang on, let me look at the schedule. I'm trying to remember. The Islanders?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mean to do
Yeah.
to the Islanders. Kick them while they're down.
Yeah.
Exactly. But do you think that is a good thing? Like, I mean, we're like, oh, that'd be so tough and like fun to watch. Oh, but is it? What do you think though? Like people are going to be gassed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Is
you're
that
gonna need
actually
oxygen
Yeah.
tanks on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't know,
I
I'm
think
curious.
I think it'd be great. Like because they're all starving for more offense, and you know some of the rules that have happened have helped the offense, but you know teams are smart and they're starting to trap it up a little bit more.
Defensive
So
coaches will always find a way.
they find a way.
They
so
will
then
always find a way.
that's an easy way to increase scoring again.
Yeah.
And it's a small thing, and it may work out, it may not, but there's those shifts where guys get caught out for a long time or girls get caught out for a long time, and then it's like, boom, here it is, because that's usually when the goals happen.
Yeah.
So
And there's just
more
going to be that
mistakes happen.
mismatch.
Yeah.
Where that wrong line is out there, and you now have to go up against this power play.
Yeah.
And some of them are completely fresh.
Yep.
They win that face off, and boom, you just don't have it in you.
Yeah. Hilarious. I would hate it. I would hate to get caught out.
The NHL is going to be using the PWHL, I think, very closely, watching it to see how all these rule changes that they keep doing, because they do so many different things.
Do you think the NHL would actually adopt it though?
I think
Because they're
they-
so hesitant to change rules.
But I
like
think
that
it's,
one, though.
it's the same as like baseball. You need someone to go try these things for you. You don't always want to do it yourself. Baseball uses their minor league system. The American Hockey League does some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the way that if PWHL, which like they're not connected anyway with NHL, are they? There's no. So your arm's length away, you're away from them. They could come up with these great ideas. And if there is that idea that you really like, you could sit there and be like, you want to know something? We should look more into this one. The NFL kickoff rule that we see right now is from the XFL.
Yeah, the XFL was a trendsetter though.
And both times, like the
Both
first
times,
time,
yeah.
there was a lot of things the NFL took. Now they never gave credit, and if the
Yeah.
NHL adds this no escape rule one day, they're never gonna be like, yeah, we saw in the PWHL. There'll be some new name to it, and they'll try to make it off as like we've come up with this a brilliant idea, and everyone else will be like, well, no, that came from the PWHL. But I think the NHL does make a lot of rule changes. I think I feel like maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe I'm a little naive here, but they'll pay attention to what the PWHL is doing with all their rules and find if a rule is adding something that they want to their game, they will do. We'll see it in the American Hockey League. That's how we'll go.
You'll see it in the American
They'll throw it
Hockey
there,
League,
see how it does there, then they'll bring it to
and
the
then
NHL.
3 to 4 years later, then they might
Yes.
bring it. So yeah, it'll take them from
Decade.
today 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. Minimum.
Yeah, because they're slow to react. They're slow to change things up. And while this rule could be fantastic, like they're just gonna wait, and then they're gonna wait some more, and then when they've waited some more, they're gonna wait some more, and then they're gonna do it.
Unless all of hockey is just clamoring for it. Unless the only way this changes is if the players are watching the PWHL and go, that is an amazing rule.
Yep.
And they get very vocal about it and go, we want that.
Okay, but think about the shootout. The shootout still exists, and everybody in hockey is like, take the shootout out because we don't want it to be ended this way.
Yeah.
Everybody in hockey has been talking about it for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
How they do not want the shootout anymore to be the thing that ends it.
Is that because, though, no one has actually outright, there isn't a definitive, we should do this? Because when we added the shootout, when we got rid of ties, it was everyone wanted shootout.
Play an extra minute.
Get rid of ties, bring in the
5-on-5.
shootouts. But everyone's going to have different.
Just the consensus is that they don't want the shootout anymore because it becomes a skills competition to see who wins a game. That's
Which
what
3-on-3 is to a degree a skills competition.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. However, it's closer to actual gameplay than what a shootout is, and that's why so many people are like, we need to get rid of the shootout. We don't want this to be the thing that wins the game.
Fair. But then, so if a team is deadlocked, what do you, just a tie? Or
Go another minute. Go another 2 minutes.
Continuously?
Go
Make
another
it 10
5
minutes OT, whatever.
See, and that's why I also think the shootout then hasn't been gone, is there's no definitive answer right now.
Yeah.
We didn't. And whereas when we got rid of ties, it was a definitive. Let's bring a
100%,
shootout. Let's bring a
yeah.
shootout.
Weren't we talking about this after Hello Hockey the other day, that in the KHL, if you do the over and back, it's a penalty?
You can't drag the puck out of the zone back towards your end if you do. So if you have full possession in the zone, in the offensive zone, and you take the puck out and you're trying to kill time and then you regroup and go back, it's a penalty in the KHL.
Oh, like in Just the entire game, not just overtime.
Just in the OT, in the 3-on-3.
Okay.
So the minute you pull that puck back, and we see that in here now, it's like, well,
All
we
the
want
time.
possession all the time. So we're going to hang on to this puck. We have nothing. We're going to come out of the zone. We're going to reattack. The minute you leave that zone, penalty.
I think that's a good rule, actually.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because now it's like puts the onus on trying to attack a little bit more and stop allowing it to become. It's kind of sometimes it gets boring.
Right. It feels like the pitch clock type thing.
Yeah.
Where you're just like waiting forever for the pitcher to freaking like, just switch up. That's kind of what it feels like when. Yeah.
That would be an interesting rule.
Yeah, I don't want to see it played out. Because, I don't get as excited about 3-on-3 anymore as much.
Well, yeah, because it's like, that if whoever has a puck first usually will have the puck for like the next minute and a half to 2 minutes, and they may have not even shot one puck on net. So it's just like, okay, here we go, and sometimes it's tough. In the best times in 3-on-3 was when you're trading chances back and forth, and people are like, they're excited and they're usually out of their seats, and that's where it's like, oh, this is awesome. This is why we have 3-on-3, but then defensive minds always find a way to
I'm going to
figure
say
out.
it. Winning in the shootout's like winning on a Rouge. It's a cheap win.
Tommy, don't do that today.
I just had to. You're here.
He's been through enough.
Yeah.
Don't kick any more hornets' nests.
Yeah.
No more.
This
Hornets.
guy's got 2 internet fights going. You have one.
Well, I don't have any.
probably gonna have one
I'm
going
a
after
casual
this.
observer.
Probably gonna have a fight after this.
I like it
Yeah,
though. It's
don't
fun.
do the Rouge.
Long live the Rouge.
Don't
Oh,
do the
get
Rouge.
I
out
didn't
of
ask Ed
here.
about that. I should have asked Ed about that.
Don't have Rouge conversations. We're out.
Yeah, I need to bring Lucas in one day for that one.
No. No.
You two, Luke and I,
Oh boy.
2 different sides of the hangout.
Get Luke in here.
One day we'll have to do it. Have the full Rouge conversation. We'll send the
I'm out.
audio. To the
I don't want it.
CFL.
I'm out of this.
Because you're scared. Because you know you're going to get beat by Luke.
What?
Luke and I are going to outsmart you guys
It's a cheap win.
and out defend you guys, and everyone's going to be on board with what Luke and I have to say. EST Flyway to LA. We want to send someone to LA Friday. Giving this away, we've got our latest qualifier right here on the hangout. Who am I speaking with right now?
Smitty the Welder.
Smitty the Welder. Congratulations, you are in the mix. Congrats. Ever been to LA before?
Yeah.
You
Twice.
have.
Yeah.
What'd you do in there? Disneyland? Go to sports?
When I was a kid, Disneyland, and then 10 years ago we went down to sports events down there.
Nice. If you win this trip, who'd you take with you? And what would you be most excited about? The NHL, NBA, or NFL?
I'd take my wife.
Smart.
I've never been to an NBA game, and I've heard it's a great show. So
They keep you entertained. You might not have to
seeing
be
the Oilers on the road.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that
Team
either. But
NFL.
at NBA, yeah, when you go to an NBA game, they keep you entertained the entire time. So it is a much different experience than when you're watching on TV. Well, Smitty the Welder, congrats. Keep your phone on Friday.
Awesome.
If you are the winner or if you're chosen, the boys will give you a call. You do have to answer your phone to win. So keep it on and best of luck.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Congrats. That's Smitty the Welder, latest qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. 2 more chances to qualify today, afternoons, and Weird Wilkins show, and then 4 more chances tomorrow, and then that's it. We give it away Friday morning. EST Hangout, Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Jolene Latimer, Shawn Belle with you here. Is there any other rule changes for PWHL this year? Or is that...
That's the big one.
That's the big one? Because they've got a lot of...
Very tough, though. Very tough.
They've added a lot of good, nice rules from that first year. And
They
stuff
had their jailbreak rule, which was
You score shorthanded,
Yeah.
ends the penalty.
Yeah.
Well, they also have the playoff where you get to pick your opponents.
Yeah, we talked about this last time. I don't know, actually, I haven't heard an update on what they're going to do with that because it turned into like the Amazing Race last year, which I thought was hilarious. So it was Toronto who picked Minnesota as their opponent, I believe. And the Minnesota team was made aware of that approximately like 12 hours before they had to like be in Toronto, or maybe even less.
So travel for it was a little bit
Yeah, it
more
was
difficult.
horrible. So like I talked to some girls who had like their dogs had to go to the kennel, but the kennels were already closed and they had to be at the airport at like 3 a.m. or something. So what do you do? Like, how do you make travel arrangements? And then the whole team didn't get on the same plane. So some of them had a layover. They lost their bags. They couldn't do morning skate the next day. Like, I thought it was hilarious, but
I like it.
Okay.
You got to plan that differently then.
I think
you gotta
you
take
do-
like a week off between the regular season and the
I
playoffs or
think
something, or a few
you
more
put
days.
a video team with them and you watch that live. I think it's fun. But yeah, I get why they wouldn't want that heading into a
A
championship.
competitive
man,
disadvantage
that's
even more. So
amazing.
I remember you telling me about that. Either the league has to have a charter ready for that team,
Yep.
or they have to give it a couple more days of
Yeah.
leeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't know, the league ends, season play ends on a Saturday. You start the playoffs on the Thursday.
You can't have
Sunday
that
you have
scenario.
the
though.
Sunday
Don't be
you
in
have
eighth
a big.
place.
You do a nice little 30-minute television special where you pick who you're playing. They have Monday, Tuesday to figure out full travel plans. Get
Yeah.
there for Wednesday or Thursday. Boom,
Yeah.
good to go.
An extra day or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a very unique rule. That's I don't mind it actually. That's same. I think we talked about this too in Austria. So you spend the game if the season's 60 games, you spend 50 games figuring out what your seed is. So the top 6 teams now go into their own pool. Then 7, 8, 9, 10 go into their own pool. 1 and 6 play 10 games. So they figure that out. And then these guys play 10 games. And then they refigured out the seeding based on those 10 games. And now that's where you slot into the playoffs.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That seems very complex.
Very complex. When I first heard it, I was like, well, that makes no sense because if you played and you're first place all season and then you go in and you have a bad stretch, now you could be, the 5th seed or the 6th seed and you're playing against the 3rd seed. It's like, well, yeah, but I was just dominant for the first 50 games. Like, wouldn't that be weird?
So, if you have the bad stretch after you've already been seeded
Yeah, so
into
like
the different category. Yeah.
you were in first place after the 50.
Yeah.
Now you go into that top 6, you play your 10 games, and let's say you go 2 and 8.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're 6th place,
Yeah.
but you're playing against that 3rd place team, and maybe it's like 3 points of separating you. Now that matchup is way harder versus what it could have been if you play that full 60, you finish in first, and even though you still go through that 2 and 8 stretch, you're still playing against that 8th place team, which allows you to possibly get to the next round.
Yeah, you basically don't gain anything by being dominant all season.
Yeah.
You have to peak in once you already get into
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of discourages like trying your best in the regular season, basically. I mean, there's no
100%.
point. for
Devalues
it,
the regular season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
I found that such to be such a weird rule, and I was like, well, why? I don't even understand why they do it, but they do it all the time. And like those 10 games before playoff starts are like super competitive, obviously. And so then I started thinking, well, like maybe that's those are your meaningful games, which everybody wants to talk about. Like once you're in that playoff stretch, and now you've just created a playoff stretch drive for everybody.
Right. What it does is if you have a bad regular season, then you still have a chance.
Yeah.
So it makes it more entertaining. Like
Yeah.
basically a majority of fans, because there's only going to be one team that's the best. Everybody else is like not going to be as keyed in. So then the majority of fans are watching a bad team. So that like artificial meaningful game stretch
Yeah.
makes it more interesting for a bigger number of people,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is like interesting from a fan development perspective.
Yeah.
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 It sucks for the one good team, but for everybody else, it's
100%. Yeah.
I want to hear about fan trains.
Fan trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of times in
Iwanyk's got to go.
I'll
ahead,
set up.
man.
I'll
No,
set
go
you
ahead.
guys up. You can get into fan
Yes.
trains.
What do you mean? You would love it. You'd do a Voyageurs fan train, hypothetically.
Yeah, I'll listen to it on my drive.
Yeah. Good luck
You
with
guys
the
have a good one.
students.
I will. We'll
Give them good
I will
advice.
teach them.
Yeah, teach them good things.
Yeah, I'll teach them digital radio. That's the way to go.
That is the way to go.
It
Thank
is,
you,
actually.
Matthew.
Bye, Maddie.
see ya.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great.
Have fun with the camera.
Thank you. I will. I will.
Yeah, fan trains. They're different for sure. But teams will like pick a game where it's like a big rivalry game, and they'll have all their fans jump on the train. They'll get obviously liquored up. They'll go to the game. They'll do their thing, and then after the game, the team has to jump on that train and go back to their home city with the fans. And it's like go party with the fans,
Even if you lose.
even if you lose.
So these aren't meaningful games that they are doing.
Oh, they're meaningful games
wow.
because usually it's like the biggest rival.
Wow.
So it'd be like Edmonton versus Calgary, and there was a train. You go down there, and you get all the fans just hammered.
And then
you got to, after your game, you got to jump on that train.
And you gotta mingle.
Mingling with the fans.
didn't you say that was a mandate from the team that you guys had to hang out with the fans?
You have to. You can't just go sit in your own car and chill. You got to go mingle with the fans. And the fans will seek you out. So it doesn't matter. You can try to be safe, but you might as well just end it.
A very introverted person, and you just hate talking to people.
Not today, you're not. But yeah, people will always try to hide and not talk to the fans, especially when they're 15 deep and slurring all over you. But I think it'd be such an interesting thing.
Oh, we should absolutely do that here.
That would be
it'd be
amazing.
That'd be unreal.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But so differences in North America and Europe. Europe, it's supporter sections, they love you. They don't want, all they care about is making sure that you're happy. Sometimes fans here, for the most part, I would say a lot of fans are like that. But here, it's there's that 10% of fans, maybe 20%, where it's they might come up to you and they might start talking all sorts of nonsense. Mm-hmm. Right? Having McDavid, those kids screaming at McDavid or whatever when he was just trying to have a bite to eat with his family.
Right.
People coming up all the time, be like, why do you guys suck? The one that happened to me in Montreal when we were out for dinner, and it was are you guys going to win a game? And I'm like, well, we've only played 5, so hopefully in the next 77 games, might win 1.
Yep.
But outside of that, I think it'd be an unbelievable time.
Yeah. If only there was a way to weed out some of the more negative fans for that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just like to participate they just have fighty energy, and they like to participate by being negative. It's their fan experience.
Yeah, and I get it, but at the same time, sports just, I don't know, shouldn't it be fun?
Right.
It's supposed to be.
Not brain
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
There's no one's dying here. We're just
Not
Well,
one.
sometimes they get trampled at stadiums, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's because you were talking about the storm. No, you were talking about the storm
Storm
of the
of the
field, and somebody stole the goalpost. So Pag sent me a video, and the goalpost came down, but it hit one guy right in the face.
Yes. It's also dangerous to steal the goalpost.
Man, a goalpost hitting you in the face, my God.
Thing is huge.
Also not the way I want to go.
No.
Lucas, by the way, has chimed in regard to the Rouge battle.
No.
Says, move the table out for that hangout. Fists will fly.
I won't be in the conversation. I'm done with the Rouge talk.
We're done.
over
We
it.
know it needs
Yeah.
to be removed. Anyway, let's move along.
Nice.
Grand Slam of Curling was at Silent Ice Center
It
a
was.
couple weeks ago. I know you've been busy. You were out of town. Have you kept tabs on what's going on with the Grand Slam of Curling? Because you're dialed into that.
I have. Thank you for asking me about curling.
Yes.
I came
Well,
here
we
for
have our
Salt.
Bonspiel coming up, too.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's
for that.
very fresh. It's coming to fruition.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my calendar
Yes.
immediately.
Yes. Him too.
Maybe we could be a team. Are you good at curling at all?
I'm a great skipper.
He's an athlete.
I'm a great skipper.
Are you
Yeah.
actually? Okay.
We had the Oilers.
He says a lot of
Bonspiel.
things like
I'm
that.
really competitive, so
Oilers Bonspiel.
I'm a defending champion of that. Thank you very much.
Took my team to the semifinals. We lost to
Wow.
Olympians, so
fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great skipper.
Okay. All right. Maybe I can play lead for you.
Done.
Throw up a couple guards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
I'll go practice before though. I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll practice on my yelling.
Yep. All right.
But, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Jolene. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited about this development, but yeah, I've been paying attention to that. It's actually the third Grand Slam of curling event is this week in Newfoundland. The first 2 were interesting. The one in Nisku was notable because did we talk about Botcher last time I was here?
A little bit.
So-
he said he was finding a new team,
Yeah.
and he's kind of floated a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
odd the scenario that's kind of played out.
Yeah, exactly. So that event in Nisku was his second big event with Gushu, who's Team Canada. So Botcher is a hometown guy. He really wants to go to the Olympics, and he's a really good curler. His teams just haven't quite worked out, and there's always controversy when teams break up. Curling's weird because unlike other sports, you have to kind of put your team together on your own.
Right.
And then if you win, you can go to the Olympics, but there's no one who is assessing you it'd be different if there was a tryout for lead and there was a tryout for second and all that, but it's not really like that. You assemble your own team. So Gushu at that Silent Ice won the Nisku event. They got second. Scotland won that event. So now it'll be interesting to see that's two. They won second twice. 1 second lost. They got second twice. We'll see how they do in Newfoundland. That's kind of who I'm keeping the biggest tabs on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's been taken over by a new company, and which
Yeah.
football player?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen's
Yeah.
involved. Yeah.
So he's a former Viking.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the Olympics, as you've told us, right?
Yeah. I recently
As a
talked to him.
curler?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's actually like becoming a legit curler. He started curling probably maybe 2018.
Okay.
And in 2020, I went down right before the pandemic to Nashville where he lives. And it was just him and a couple other NFLers on a hockey rink. And they were learning how to curl. They were okay. I wouldn't say they were good, but they were okay. But now he's really involved in the sport. He's been through a couple team breakups himself. He's still he's actually not bad. He did win against Schuster, I think like last year. Who's that
That's
gold
so
medal?
funny.
Yeah. And I was just talking to a guy he won the Olympic gold with Schuster. His name's Tyler George. I was talking to him yesterday. And he was saying that Jared, now they don't think of him as a NFLer who curls. They just think of him as a curler. He's just like
Oh, wow.
super.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like really involved in the community. And he invested like, I don't know how much, but a chunk of change into starting this thing called the Curling Group, which now owns the Grand Slams. They bought them from Sportsnet. So yeah, he's like really, really into it.
That's
yeah,
that's
he's super
unreal.
committed. Yeah.
How? Okay. Well, we had that event, and that story is pretty neat too. But how, through the first couple of events, is it being perceived? Is it a lot different than when Sportsnet owned it? What's the early kind of prognosis of this new Grand Slam of curling, if you will?
That's a good question. They're not changing a ton right now, and that's sort of on purpose because curling is a very traditional sport. So you have to be a little bit careful just how you make adjustments. But one thing that they are really big on, like curling does have a big social culture, which I think is not like emphasized enough on the like the professional levels. Of
Hang
the sport.
on. Bones chimes in about the social culture. Throw 2, sweep 6, drink 8. Continue.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how it should be. Yeah. So one cool thing that the new owners are doing is they have a parallel circuit called the Grand Slam of Karaoke. So at every curling stop, they have like a karaoke championship.
Well played.
Yeah.
They did that at Silent Ice.
Did they really?
Yeah, and they
Where?
were out there just up in the main foyer kind of area. in
Yeah.
the back by the women's bathroom. They set up a stage there. They moved all the tables out, and apparently the curlers are going to like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Shocking.
And I think a Finnish guy won it.
Kind of shocking.
I didn't see who won, but yeah.
It was
sounds
one of the
believable.
Nordic countries won it for sure.
Prize
Yeah.
money?
Actually, I don't think there is prize money for the Grand Slam. It's
this
a
is just-
belt. You get a belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is almost like a variation of the Briar Patch.
Yeah. So it actually on that note, in Newfoundland, so that event is sold out in Newfoundland, which is great.
The karaoke one?
No, the whole
Briar.
the whole championship.
Oh, the whole
not
championship.
Briar, yeah.
Okay.
But so the Briar Patch is really fun, and they do something like that at almost every big curling event. Like the Continental Cup in Vegas, I went once, and it was fun because it was just like this giant section of the hotel in Vegas that was blocked off, and it was all curlers partying after the games.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. So they're doing something similar in Newfoundland, but basically, so I talked to a Newfie who's a little bit sensitive about this. So if anyone
Did you drop a Newfie reference? Continue.
so they have this thing called kitchen parties, which apparently has been like a little bit appropriated by tourists, but basically it's just like big parties where hopefully some new people who are from Newfoundland can chime in on this, but
I'm in your head. Sorry.
you are in my head.
Yeah, don't rock the boat too much. right now.
Apologies. Yeah.
So at this event, you can get into the VIP section for free if you bring an instrument and you participate in the party.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
It's happening tomorrow on Thursday. It's gonna be
Amazing.
big. Yeah, it's gonna be
Will they
really
all
fun.
get screeched in too?
Probably.
Ew.
Awesome.
Their thing, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to emphasize like the fun aspect of the sport because it is fun. It kind of has like a nerdy reputation, which is fine. But they do also have a lot of fun together. So that's one thing. So they're actually they're putting a lot of money into content to film the Grand Slam of karaoke as if it's like a real thing and put that up on YouTube.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah, no, I'm going to second the fact that they like to have fun. Because I just happened to be upstairs.
You had
in the
games
restaurant.
going on
We had
the other
games
rink
on
at the other time. Yeah.
And I would see all the curlers up there just crushing beers. I'm like, good for you guys. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And the fans were mingling with them, I would imagine.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple fights that we had to break up.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah, it was getting a little bit
Fan
rowdy up there.
fights?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
One guy tried to push another guy down the stairs.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
not good. Don't do
exciting.
that.
Extreme.
Yeah, it was very extreme.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was up at Summit.
Summit. So
Great food,
we
great
actually just
beverages.
finished pre and post game show, and I was sitting there, and one of
That's
the waitresses
right.
comes up to me and she's like, I know you, and you're big and scary. Can you help me break up a fight?
Big and scary.
Like, sure, I'll come help you break up a fight.
And
yeah, the one guy tried to push the guy down the stairs as I showed up. I was like, okay, like let's knock this off now.
Wow. I wonder what heated curling drama brought that on.
The one guy tried to move past him and kind of shoulder the other guy, and that's how it sparked.
Fair. Yeah.
Was it jam packed up there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and that's a huge space too.
yeah, it was. It was very, very busy. So people obviously were drinking lots, and yeah, generally speaking, don't shoulder a guy and right by
Be
the stairs.
courteous.
Be courteous and
Be courteous.
Right.
don't get thrown down the stairs.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Okay, a couple texts have come in. This one says kitchen parties are the best.
Yes.
And then another one says kitchen parties is where it's at by.
Nice. Okay, good. We have some people from Newfoundland in the comments.
Yeah, evidently. And then another one says down the stairs at Summit. That's a lot of stairs. That's
Yeah, it is.
that's from Surveyor
Yeah.
Brett. So that's cool to hear that. Like, it's kind of refreshing as an outsider. Obviously, like, I haven't followed the Grand Slam of curling.
What?
I'm aware of it. I recognize it. You didn't know anything until it went to Silent Ice. You had no clue.
One of us has been, one of us hasn't.
You by default because you work there.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
And he can skip. So
Yeah, that's what he
100%.
says.
yeah.
I'm
I'm a little bit nervous about saying I'm going to be on his team.
Why?
It'll be
Just
fine.
because I need to see some video of you skipping first.
I could take you to the promised land. Don't worry, it's all good.
I'm the defending Oilers alumni Bonspiel champion. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you played
Did
with
you
an
skip?
Olympian.
Oh, what position did you
I
play?
don't know. I was filling
Okay.
stopgap.
Yeah, I'm still
Yes.
going to go with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to have our EST Bonspiel that's coming up. More details to follow. As Iwanyk pointed out, we were thinking of a name yesterday. So, as an outsider, not a true like curling fan, and I readily admit that, it is neat to see this group come in, purchase the Grand Slam of curling, and try new things. Like this karaoke thing is hilarious and amazing, and the kitchen party element is cool. Like, I like this, and maybe it starts to build up some momentum, and it gets away from straight up traditional curling events, which are still fun, and still we need them. They are the bread and butter of curling, but to kind of give it a variation, if you will, but still at the same time honoring, respecting the game itself.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah. If you want to be an insider too, you're welcome to come.
I'll leave that to you.
I have an event I can invite you to, but it's in Nashville.
Oh, I'll go.
wanna
I'll go to
come? Okay.
Nashville. Yeah.
It's going to be like the curling all-star event.
See, that's cool. Have we had this before?
No, never. Not really. It's also going to mix NFLers with. It's going to
Boom.
It'll be in March.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's huge.
wicked.
Yeah.
And then he lived a Grand Slam of curling, so evidently he's got a plethora of knowledge now.
I am what I am, buddy.
The best. The best.
I got lots of knowledge.
know
We'll
you
see.
do.
Yeah, we'll put your knowledge to the test
Okay.
in the Bonspiel.
Yeah,
If
done.
we do not get to semis, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed.
Well, if we don't get the semis, that means we had a great time.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Okay, fair.
win-win situation.
Yeah, is the Bonspiel multiple days or is it just?
I think it's just one day, and if I'm correct, I think I am. It's going to be at Shamrock.
Oh, I
with,
love the Shamrock.
Yeah, with
Vintage.
If we
Gavin.
get off to a bad
Vintage.
start,
And
we're
Angela.
just gonna try to drag the other teams into the mud.
Great idea. Okay,
Right?
good. No, I
So,
love this
yeah.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
the same
then-
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How
Either
do you
way,
drag other teams into the
We're
mud
gonna
and
force
curling?
you to drink more, And then
There
you're
we
going to be
go.
onto
Yeah.
our level, and then
Yeah.
we're going to win because we're good with our level.
Yeah.
You're not good being at that level.
We're fine where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. I like it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Do we need like curlers, like real curlers, to come out?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have
work
no
on that
idea.
if we do. Okay.
I will be a part of this event somehow, and I look forward to it. That's all I can say.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm already. My mind's going.
I believe
gotta
it's
get some
going to be in
practice ice.
February.
Gotta work on my draw weight.
I got to probably stretch.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Especially when you're. It's a very stretchy
It's
position.
a very stretchy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I don't know
not
if my
easy.
hips move like that anymore.
You could
but-
always do it with the well, you could do the standing one. Do you know that? Yeah,
No,
they
I'm
have
getting
that.
down.
You are okay. Okay, that's fine.
Make sure I wear stretchy pants that
Okay.
day.
You can always wear. You can use like the crutch instead of your broom. It
Okay.
makes it a little bit easier if you want a crutch.
No,
You
I'm
can
just trying
wear
to get all the way down.
one. Okay, all right.
Really quickly, we have a few minutes left here on the Hangout. Tom Gazzola, Jolene Latimer from The Score, and Shawn Belle from Hello Hockey. And you can catch him here on EST on Wednesdays on the Hangout, and then filling in for Matty Cassian on the pre and post game show. Justin Dunk put out there that the Elks head coach interviews for the week. Buck Pierce Monday, Rick Campbell and Jordan Maximic was yesterday. Today's Mark Killam. Tomorrow or Friday will be Jarius Jackson. You're a season seed holder. Belsey, you're
Planning
dialed in
on
with
it.
the team.
Planning on getting
also wants to get in and be season seed holder. You were at the press conference last week for Ed Hervey. It's kind of neat when you bring like NHL guys to. Joaquin was at the Chris Morris press conference, and I was asking Gager about it. He's like, it was cool. It's
Yeah.
neat to kind of be an outsider, but at the same time, you're mingling. So I'm curious to know what you think of where the Elks are going right now with all of this, because I know you've got other things to worry about, but this is going back to the past, the essence of the team, trying to get back to flagship status, Jolene.
Yeah, you know that when it comes to the CFL, I'm purely vibes. We've discussed
Yes,
it.
and that's important because
Yeah.
they need vibes, and the
Yeah.
Grey Cup just happened, so
Yeah.
I'm curious if you caught that.
Yeah, no, I saw that on other people's Instagrams, but I didn't really watch any of it. But
Winnipeg lost.
right. I know that because I was in Toronto, and the Toronto people were excited. Okay, so my take on the Elks.
Getting back to
Vibes seem to
prominence.
be increasing.
Thank
That's,
you.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I'm picking up.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, the vibe report I would say is like it's trending positive.
Yes.
I like that they're going back to some people who like have like a winning pedigree with the team, or at least have the team's like legacy in mind. So a couple years ago, I was talking to an alumni, a prominent Elks alumni, and he was saying that one of the reasons that like the team isn't doing well now is because they don't spend enough time in the community and participating in just like I think Elks of 15 years ago or 20 years ago put so much work into getting to know the community.
They lived here.
Yeah, they did, and they were really committed to it.
Yeah.
So whenever this is what this guy was saying, whenever they got into like a bad time, like a slump or whatever, they really had those fans in mind, and they really, really cared about the community. And it totally got away from that in the last 7 years.
That's on point. Totally on point.
Yeah. So I think bringing back some of these older guys who have more of that history, I think is a good thing.
Yeah, and they want to encourage that. Put roots in here,
Yeah,
instead of
exactly.
in and out.
Right.
And that was interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up because at the press conference, Belsey, you were talking to some of the current players and some alumni as well. And
Yep.
Cheese, you were trying to steal a helmet from the locker room.
And I was talking to Chappie.
And Chappie,
Yeah.
it was good to see Chappie. But like, what did you glean from that? And
Well-
Jolene makes a good point about like putting roots in here.
Well, first of all, like after listening to Ed Hervey speak, I was ready to start working out again and then try to make my way into the CFL. Like I was ready to run through a wall because like
You were as big. Some of those guys were bigger than you.
those guys were massive, It's
giants.
like, good God, Like,
Yeah.
that's what it's like. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, but like I thought there was an appropriate amount of like intensity to when he was talking. Like he was like you could tell he was dead serious. Like we're turning this thing around, and if you don't want to be here, that's fine. The door's right there, and I'll help walk you out. And sometimes you need that kind of leadership because I find that like, well, I guess I found in the last 7 years since he's actually left, I feel like that level of intensity has just been gone from the organization. And, everybody talks about how things start from the top down. So if you have that kind of mentality from the top and you bring it down and you know what your expectations are as a GM, as a coach, down to the players, now that sets a standard for what you want to be. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it was a really important message, and especially the way he came out and he said it. I was like, yeah, I'm running through the wall, first of all. And then second, I'm like, okay, now they've got some, this is the direction that we're going to go. And now whether they follow through on that is a completely different story, but at least they know what this is the expectations. I mean, if you can't meet these expectations, then you just won't be here.
As a former athlete, do you feel there are guys on the current team that either maybe were in the locker room or were watching it live that heard Ed go, if you don't want to put in the work and you don't have the right attitude, do you think guys would take it negatively and be like, screw this guy, I'm out of here?
No, I definitely think there was some puckering.
Elaborate on puckering, please. Not the physical component of it, but
I think people were like,
metaphorical.
Whoa, if I don't get this figured out, I'm not going to be here. And right now, I would want to be here because that they're going to try everything in their power to restore this franchise to what it was before.
Right.
You just felt that vibe. And it was like, okay, so what do we need to do? Do we need to get extra money so that we can start to spend? And can we develop more players, or we can get the best coaches? I felt all of that stuff was coming back. And so if I was a player, I'd sit there and be like, well, I kind of actually want to be here right now because I got a feeling this is going to go in the right direction. So, yeah, there's definitely players that would do it.
It was intense in that room. It really was
super intense.
It was very intense.
For a press conference, that's unusual.
Yeah. And there were a lot of staff.
Yeah.
Apparently there was more who attended that than Chris Morris. Not just staff, but people in general.
Yep.
More media and a lot of current players and a lot of alumni were there.
That's really unusual for players to come out for a press conference.
Yeah. It was well, some of them were working out. I think Jamin Pelly was changing and the Cheese and Lisa for the athletic therapists were like, well, it's just another day here, but it happens to be a press conference. And Jamin, who was in studio here a week or two prior, was getting out of his workout gear. He was looking around. He's like, whatever.
Yep, here we go.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly, Bones Texan says, I'll play devil's advocate. Why is it okay for the Elks to hire former players and the Oilers get vilified if they do it? What would you say, Jolene?
Because the Oilers' former players have not had success in management positions.
Very simple, straightforward, to the point.
Yeah.
Touche.
Mm-hmm. I don't even have to respond. That's why.
That's a good point. Nailed it.
Yeah. Nice work.
Okay, Jolene, what are you working on right now? What's coming up? I know you said you had the PWHL media conference yesterday. You're always working on something for the Score. What's the latest, and what should we look forward to?
I interviewed Gary Bettman last week.
Oh, how did that go? I don't want to reveal too much, but
I didn't ask him any hard-hitting questions. I feel like you got to get to know him a little bit before you can really
dig in.
Yeah.
But he usually gives you something.
He was just nice.
Oh, okay.
Charming old Gary.
He is. Actually,
was he head bobbing?
He just does that. I actually I had a one-on-one with him my last year at Oilers TV, and listen, I wasn't grilling him. It was an Oilers a Hall of Fame event at the Hockey Hall of Fame. He did that, but he was pretty good. He knows what he's doing.
It's very grandpa. Yeah.
What should we look forward to?
I don't know. We're doing this thing called the Hockey Leaders Survey. It's just Q&A basically with leaders in hockey. So he's the first guy who we interviewed for it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Belsey and I are available whenever you need us.
Yeah. I'll use you as fill-ins.
Ouch, but okay.
Now I know what it feels like.
Yeah. Ow.
We did the interview. I was on Zoom, but he was in his office. I'd never seen his office before.
They have really nice offices.
Yeah.
When can we look forward to that?
Sometime in December.
Excellent.
I'm not sure when we're going to put it out yet.
Excellent. All right. Belsey, what do you got cooking?
It's a quiet week, man. We got games this weekend.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a good show on Hello Hockey.
We have Simon Bennett joining us in studio.
Oh, fun. Benny.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Just looking forward to getting to the weekend and kicking my feet up.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you never do that.
No, I don't know what that
Either
is.
do I.
Yeah, he doesn't either.
Yeah, because I saw you at the game.
Yep.
You were also doing the pregame.
Yep.
And then you guys did the postgame.
Yep.
We did.
Yeah, it's a lot. That is like that. People don't understand that's at least an 8-hour workday, and that's in the evening after you've already
That was
had
a split
day.
shift.
We also did
Hello Hockey.
that day
on
too.
location.
On
that-
location.
that
I
morning.
had games.
My dad met me for lunch at local.
Yeah, so I left local, coached 15s,
Yeah.
then went home to change, and then gone out the door.
And it was Winterval too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quinn
That was
Phillips.
a long
A
day.
lot.
was a
That's
lot.
a lot. Yeah, like people don't understand that covering a game, especially if you do the pregame, that is a full workday.
Yeah.
And it's already in the evening after the workday has ended.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. After the post game show, we enjoyed the splendor. What a night that was.
Where was that at? That was at
Kelly's pub. Yeah.
I think I got home at like 2:30. Like, oh man.
Yeah, we had the locals that visit, people from the game that were there that stopped in at Kelly's, and then a whole bunch of ESTers were involved. It was like this weird confluence, and it was great. Hernan came out after the show. We had so much fun. Big thank you to Kelly's and Quinn Phillips and everybody that put on Winterval. It was super fun being a part of it.
Sounds fun. Invite me next time, maybe.
Okay. No problem. You're invited.
Thank you.
Great stuff as usual from Jolene and Belzy, and we're gonna have to have you in again soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Can't
Belzy.
wait.
Well, you're back next
We'll
Wednesday.
see you Saturday, and then next Wednesday.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
As we like to say. Well, that's going to do it for the hangout here on ESC. Coming up next, it's the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. Dusty on location at Boston Pizza Capilano. I'm headed there right meow because that's where Oil Stream will be. Yes, I said meow. It's a reference to Super Troopers. For Iwanyk, who's gone, he's speaking to students at Nate. Good luck to them. And Belzy and Jolene, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thanks for watching this edition. Thanks for listening to this edition of the EST Hangout. Stay tuned to the Lock Shop. Ciao for now.
And go get your bow and get out of here.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,